Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Blockbuster deals on this NFL trade deadline day with two Jets defensive stars on the move. Defensive tackle Quinn Williams and cornerback Sauce Gardner. Williams going to the Cowboys for a 2026 second-round pick, 2027 first-rounder, and defensive tackle Maisie Smith. Gardner heading to the Colts for 2 first-round picks, one in 2026, another in 2027, plus receiver A.D. Mitchell. The trades, among those allowing the Jets to stockpile draft picks, which is a positive, explains our Harry Douglas.
Reset the entire organization, build it from the ground up, and I thought it was desperately needed. Don't go on and play along and say, oh man, we can scrap up pieces here and there. No, we have to get rid of some guys in order to get to where we feel like we need to be to have a change in culture and a change amongst this entire organization.
Moves made by Seattle and Jacksonville, both dealing with banged-up receiver rooms. Seattle acquired Rashid Shaheed from the Saints for 4th and 6th round picks in 2026. Jacoby Myers going from the Raiders to the Jaguars for 2026 4th and 6th round picks.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Wednesday, the Giants sit at 2-7 for the 3rd straight season. Jackson Dart has looked good, but is it enough to save Brian Daboll's job? It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. The NFL trade deadline is upon us. Verge Osbury here in 1 hour. Ross Jackson next hour. Sean Salsbury in hour 3. Ton to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
And the NFL trade deadline is officially here. It is 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central. At this very moment, the NFL trade deadline has now come and gone. And we actually have breaking news literally right here at the trade deadline. 2 minutes before 3 o'clock Central, Adam Schefter, others have it. The New Orleans Saints are trading, the New Orleans Saints are trading. They're not trading anybody. They're trading offensive lineman Trevor Penning to the Chargers. It has since also been reported by Rappaport, by Nick Underhill. Trevor Penning's time in New Orleans is done. And that is after earlier today, the New Orleans Saints also traded wide receiver Rashid Shaheed to the Seattle Seahawks for 2 picks, a 4 and a 5. We will see what the trade compensation is for Trevor Penning. Again, that is very new. When we have it, we'll share it with you. But my feeling as we approach this trade deadline was very simple. Fire sale everything. Any player on this roster that was on an expiring contract or that you did not see as being a part of your organization through the rebuild, anything you could get for them, trade them. Get it. Doesn't matter what it is. It's like this is like debt payments. You have to liquidate. So anything you can get, even if it's below market value, you get it. It's like a liquidation sale. You're going out of business. There's a rug store by my house going out of business. These furniture stores, we're closing our doors forever. Everything's got to go. Well, it's true. It's got to go. They're not taking it with them. They're going to liquidate everything. They're getting rid of everything. It doesn't matter what they bought it for. They're just going to get whatever they can. Same thing here. In the case of Rashid Shaheed, you signed him as an undrafted free agent. You hit. Awesome. Congrats. Well, you stink. So get something for him. Trevor Penning was a first-round pick. Total bust. Get something for him. Awesome. I think that there's a lot of positives to this that I want to get to, and there's a smidge of a downside that I'll come to. Obviously, the tear-down rebuild is on. If there was any thought of a conflicting point of view or a contrasting point of view, let that be gone. You just traded your best wide receiver and a former first-round pick on the offensive line. And that's an offensive line right now that already stinks. You can't run block. You can't pass protect. You've got a rookie left tackle, a second-year right tackle, who, by the way, is injured, and your starting center's injured. So now you're left with Cesar Ruiz, who stinks, a rookie left tackle, and then everybody else is going to be new. So, I mean, my goodness, like, the illustration is there. I mean, they are not trying to win the rest of the way. They're getting whatever they can to play for the future, and it is the right thing to do. Let me talk about Shaheed, because I don't yet have – keep an eye if you get the compensation for Penning, please. Let me talk about Shaheed, because we have that compensation as of right now. This makes a lot of sense for Seattle. Seattle is 6-2. They are leading their division, and it pairs Rashid Shaheed with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Remember, they have Cooper Kupp there as well. He's been injured. So now you get JSN and Shaheed with Darnold throwing the football. They just blew the doors off of Washington. Seattle is a contender. They're going for a championship. They just got a nice piece for a couple of day 3 draft picks. Okay. Also, remember who the OC is in Seattle? Yeah, it's Clint Kubiak, who was in New Orleans a year ago. He has a pretty good awareness of what Rashid Shaheed can do and how to use him. So when the OC in Seattle was the OC in New Orleans a year ago, and Seattle's trading for Rashid Shaheed, tells you Kubiak liked what he saw with Shaheed a season ago. This deal, moving Shaheed to Seattle for a 4th and a 5th round pick, it makes sense for the New Orleans Saints as well. You can be bummed because Shaheed's a young player, 27 years old, with an awful lot of upside. But the reality is that you hit on Shaheed, but you got, I hate to say it this way, it's sort of an oxymoron, but or I guess it's sort of I guess it actually is a dose of irony. You got lucky that he got hurt, which you wouldn't necessarily think that him being hurt would make you lucky, but him being hurt is the reason that he was able to sign a 1-year bargain basement deal with you for this year, one year, $5 million. So otherwise, had Shaheed stayed healthy, he would have gotten a much bigger, probably a longer-term deal this past offseason. In any way, signed a 1-year prove-it deal with the team, and now he's off to Seattle, and they'll extend him, no doubt. But he's coming off a 1-year deal, or he's in a 1-year deal coming off an injury. He's a free agent after the season. You were not going to be able to re-sign Rashid Shaheed. He was going to hit the open market. He was going to command a high dollar. You weren't going to be able to match that or weren't going to match that, especially if you intend on paying Chris Olave, which I think is stupid, but it's what it is. So get something before him now, before he walks in free agency at the end of the season. Makes a lot of sense. They did the deal. They got a 4 and a 5. Now, as we look at the compensation, it's a 4th round pick and a 5th round pick for this year, this coming draft, the 2026 draft. I'll remind you, New Orleans traded for Devon Vele with Denver, and the Saints sent their 4th round pick to Denver for Devon Vele. So they, in effect, here recoup their 4th round pick. Now, it's not what and what, because the Saints' 4th round pick might very well be the first pick of the 4th round, whereas Seattle's pick is going to be late in the 4th round. So you're probably going to be talking in the neighborhood of 25 to 30 spots difference between the two picks. But still, you sent a 4 to Denver for Vele. Now you recoup a 4 here in this trade for Shaheed. So you keep Vele instead of Shaheed, and you get a 4 back, which is worse. You're worse off. Shaheed's better than Vele. Your fourth-round pick will be a higher pick than theirs. You lose all the way around. But again, this is a fire sale. It's a liquidation sale. You get what you can. They did what they did, and they moved on. I want to recoup picks. I want future assets that allow you to get younger and less expensive. But the key to that strategy working is you have to hit on the draft picks. And I don't know that I have a great confidence in this organization being able to do it. You look at 4s and 5s. Danny Stutzman, Quincy Riley were 4s. Spencer Rattler, Bub Means, Jalen Ford were all 5s. Nick Saldiveri, Jake Haener were 4s. Jordan Howden was a 5. DeMarco Jackson was a 5. Ian Book was a 4. C.J. Gardner-Johnson was a 4. You hit there. Rick Leonard was a 4. Natrell Jamerson was a 5. You get my point here. David Onyemata was a 4. It's about once every half decade maybe you hit. You took 3 5s in 2015. Davis Tull, Tyler Davis, and Damian Swan. Miss. Kyrie Fort was a 4. Vinny Sinceri was a 5. Ronald Powell was a 5. You see my point? Like, they stink. They're not good at this. So, yes, you're doing the right thing in recouping draft assets, but you have to hit on those draft assets, and I'm not confident in this organization's ability to do it. But it's the right thing to do. Now, the downside here. You are spending the next 8 weeks evaluating Tyler Shuck. And now you're going to spend 8 weeks evaluating Tyler Shuck without Rashid Shaheed, where your best weapon is Chris Olave, who stinks, Juwan Johnson, who stinks, Alvin Kamara, who's old and injured, Taysom Hill, who's old and injured, Devon Vele, who on the season has 5 catches for 39 yards. I guess he's the guy that gets the big opportunity here with Shaheed out of town. But again, Vele, who you sent a 4th-round pick to Denver to get, a 4 and a 7, by the way, 2 picks. He's got 5 catches for 39 yards on the season. So it's tough to evaluate Shuck where you have a rookie left tackle, your right tackle, Fuaga's hurt, McCoy, your center's done for the year. You just traded Trevor Penning, and your other starting your most veteran offensive lineman is Cesar Ruiz, who stinks. And then you have no good offensive weapons. So, good luck, kid. Go get him. But such is life amid a rebuild. And make no mistake, this is a tear-down rebuild. I wish they had traded more. But the Saints send Rashid Shaheed and to Seattle, and Trevor Penning to L.A. to the Chargers to go join Jim Harbaugh's squad over there. Wasted draft capital, man, with Penning. But at least you got something for him now. We can stop the charade of pretending like Trevor Penning can be a quality starting offensive lineman. Maybe he can get new life there in L.A. with the Chargers. But the Saints get something for him. We'll find out what that is, and they can stop paying him and move on. All right, it's after further review. More fallout from the trade deadline. Ross Jackson will be here in an hour and 15 minutes. We'll get his reaction to all of it. Shea Dixon from On 3, the Bengal Tiger, is coming up. We're brought to you by Bud Light. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with a great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers, the New Orleans Saints, the McNeese State Cowboys. Shout out McNeese, Southwest Louisiana there. It's our friends over at Bud Light, Mockler Beverage, awesome people, great supporters of the Tigers and of the Saints, and we're thrilled to be partnered as well here on AFR, our show open every day, brought to you by Bud Light. Thursday, we'll be over at Court's Table, be drinking a few ice-cold Bud Lights. Y'all go play pickleball if you want, or just come hang out, watch a show. We'll be there, of course, with Bud Light. Drink easy with a great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. Okay, we got a lot to do today. LSU has hired a new university president, Wade Roos. That's about as surprising as the sun rising today. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Verge Osbury, interim AD, here at the top of hour 2, 47 minutes. I'll ask Verge all the pertinent questions about the coaching search, and yes, I'll ask him about Nick Saban. Shea Dixon, when we come back on AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Duplessis Builders and DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. 2 things that I really want to remind you about. Of course, at Duplessis Builders, if you want to build that custom pool or outdoor kitchen, Duplessis Builders can do it. That gorgeous resort-style pool or outdoor kitchen to whatever specifications that you want, they can do it. Now, they also have predetermined models where you can get your pool or your outdoor kitchen. As a matter of fact, if you go to the website, follow me here. Go to the website, DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. Right on the homepage, you'll see, pick your pool now. Click that, and you'll see 11 pool designs. And you can pick whichever design you want and then choose what finishes you want. Boom. You can even pay for it right there on the website. I mean, you can have a pool designed, paid for, all on the website like within 5 minutes from right now. DuplessisBuilders.net. Same thing with the outdoor kitchens as well. Check them out online. DuplessisBuilders.net. DuplessisBuilders.net.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool them
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Always appreciate our friends over at Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Of course, all your farm equipment, but so much more than that. Zero-turn mowers, gators, and everything you need for tailgating as well. Your generators, your fans, everything. Heaters coming soon when that weather keeps getting a little bit cooler. Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger, joins us every Tuesday, talking recruiting. He's with us now. Shady, thanks for the time, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing really well. You'd be proud of me. I asked Frank Wilson on Monday a recruiting question, how they're managing to keep this thing together and continue to recruit with less than a month now to the December signing period. I thought he gave a great answer. I'm curious just your perspective as someone who lives in that world where, Shea, we're not sure if LSU will have the permanent coach in place by December 3rd. So what do you do right now to keep these recruits engaged between now and December the 3rd?
Yeah, I was proud of you, Matt. Let me get that out of the way first.
All for you,
You've
Shea.
done well.
Thank you.
I usually save those praises for Hannah Griff, who he likes it when I tell him he's doing a good job with recruiting. So Look, we don't have the Bayou Bash anymore, so he doesn't have
Yeah.
to take the mic every signing day. I keep him abreast to it. But I like Frank's answer, and he talked about it a bit too in the interim, or his first press conference is interim, which is after practice, where, look, obviously they're going to recruit these guys. He's got great relationships with them. So do their position coaches. So do personnel staffers. All of that goes into a high school, prospect and his family feeling comfortable about committing to a college, and LSU in this case, but also said that taking care of the team and getting them to sort of rally around each other and everything was just as paramount, if not more, because so many of these recruits are buddies with guys on the team, right? Like they're a year younger or 2 years younger than the majority of the, kind of young guys we know in this program that are notable. And as Frank said, if those guys ask them, hey, what's it actually like up there beyond the coach speak? And they say, look, everything's good. We're grooving right along. Then they don't press the panic kind of meter themselves, the button themselves. So we're a little into week 2, I guess we'll call it, of the post Brian Kelly era. And to this point, no decommits. In fact, they added a commitment to get to 17 commits. We talked about that a week ago. But also, you've been on bye. Now they start games. And I think one thing that people are keeping an eye on is how the rest of this season goes. Because as you noted, everyone wants to talk, and rightfully so, about the transfer portal, which is coming in January, the playoffs, which start in mid-December, and quarterfinals right on New Year's Eve, relative to a coaching search and a timeline for it. And I think everyone's kind of operating under this reality that December 3rd to 5th, which you noted is the early signing period for high school recruits, unless you're naming a coach the day the season ends or something like that, that this one might go beyond that. And I think that's one of the reasons Frank Wilson is in place as interim head coach. He can keep not just the roster together, but when it comes time for these guys to sign in a month, the majority of this class together.
Let's talk about some of the guys in this class who we're starting to hear rumblings about. One is Haven Finney. We talked to Haven Finney Sr. when he committed the cornerback out of L.A., said in no uncertain terms that Corey Raymond's a giant reason why Haven is committed to LSU. What's the update there on Finney, Shea?
Yeah, so this is a kid coming out of Sierra Canyon in LA. So being a California prospect geographically makes him a more interesting case study here than a lot of the Louisiana guys, right? Or border state guys you traditionally recruit that are within a few 4-hour drive, 5-hour drive, and they look at LSU almost like a home state team alongside, whether it's Mississippi or Texas, whatever it might be. This is the kid from furthest away. So you kind of have to see here, okay, what is the loyalty to the commitment, or does it stick, given you're from that far away? And you hit the nail on the head. And look, we caught up with Haven Finney Sr. a week ago after Brian Kelly was fired, and he repeated exactly what he said to you then, which is Corey Raymond is a big part of this. It's a big piece for Haven because that's his position coach. Corey's got a track record of development that these guys buy into as a piece of committing to LSU. And right now, we don't know if Corey Raymond will be on the staff moving forward. He certainly would belong on a list of maybe a handful of names, both whether it's your GM or on-field coaches, that you would wonder, hey, look, there would be some advantage to keeping this person around, and Corey would fit into that. But at the same time, he's got to explore options. So Haven Sr. said, look, no visits are scheduled yet. Michigan is still the team that's really recruited him the most beyond LSU and committed LSU over Michigan. And then said in the post-Kelly kind of era here, 2 weeks in, that a lot of other teams have started calling. Nebraska, he said most notably, is kind of reaching out daily saying, hey, look, we've got a spot for you. So this happens when you have a coaching change. It's expected. But right now, getting Corey Raymond back and having him in place here at LSU pays off in moments like these where kids are committed from, across the entire country, and don't balk at a coaching change if it doesn't involve Corey Raymond.
Shea, what about, you mentioned the border states, what about Bryson Cooley, the offensive lineman out of Mississippi? There's some rumblings there as well that he may be trending toward a flip.
Yeah, I just said all that, and I'm going to contrast myself immediately here and give you the opposite news on a border state kid. But Bryson Cooley's an offensive lineman they've had committed out of Mississippi, out of the Pine Belt, from Laurel. So PJ Woodland came from Hattiesburg. They had Tristan Keys from a while at Hattiesburg, and now you've got a Laurel kid in Bryson Cooley. And he committed to LSU over Bama, over the in-state schools. So was considered a pretty highly sought-after prospect, still is. But now with, I think, the uncertainty of the staff, in his case, Brad Davis, who offensive line coach, he says he's still keeping up with daily. He's got a lot of close relationships with some personnel staffers at LSU that all sort of led to that commitment, and it's just a few-hour drive from his hometown. That said, now that we're, again, a month from signing day, all of these guys are really having to think hard about where they stand. And him being a Mississippi kid, Mississippi State has always been heavily on him with Jeff Levy and that staff. That was the final school he visited beyond LSU before he did kind of come to a decision and pick LSU. And now Steve Wiltfong just went ahead and made the move to switch his pick from LSU onto Mississippi State. So it appears things are trending that way for an in-state kid. But again, some attrition here is expected. I think that the fact that you've made it this long into things without any flips or decommits is probably a good sign for the overall view of the class and how it might look in a month.
Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tigers. So we expect attrition. I mean, that of course would be common with any coaching change like this. What about additions between now and December 3rd? Who are we keeping an eye on?
I think you go quickly to Auburn, who just fires Hugh Freeze. And we talked about this a few weeks ago when Jace Matthews, the 5-star receiver, as well as Braylon Womack, their 5-star safety commit. Both these kids are out of Mississippi, and both had visited LSU. They had been recruited heavily by LSU. Most notably, probably Jace Matthews was really high on LSU before he committed to Auburn. But when he committed to Auburn, Tristan Keys was committed to LSU, and they've been the number 1 and 2 receivers, not just in Mississippi, but the whole country. Right now, Matthews is 1, Tristan Keys is 2. Tristan Keys, as I said earlier, no longer committed to LSU. So, yes, they've got a few in-state receivers with many would consider the 3 best seniors in the state at wide receiver, college prospect-wise, are committed to LSU right now. But they'll take a swing for the fences with guys like that. And look, here in town, Catholic High, you've got Blaine Bradford. He's still committed to Ohio State. There's others out there that certainly keep recruiting. But then I have to kind of catch myself and remind myself, Matt, is that Auburn's not in that much of a different position than LSU's in right now. And it's very tough to convince a kid like that, who's quite coveted, to switch his commitment right now to a school that also doesn't know who the next head coach is or who his position coach or OC might be. So bit of a waiting game here. Obviously, you go all out, you recruit them, you don't stop. But there is some questions that you simply just can't answer, and that makes things it puts a few more hurdles in front of you between now and December.
Shea, one follow-up since you mentioned Bradford. Do you know if he is so at Catholic? They do not allow anyone to graduate early, so Bradford will not be a mid-year. Do you know if he plans to sign in December, or could part of the pitch be, hey, just wait until February?
See, Matt, this is why you get to talk to Frankles, because you think of things like that, and you're really deep into the recruiting game now.
I am not. That is not true. I just happen to know about rules at Catholic High. That's all. Singular.
Well, with our powers combined, here we go.
Here we go.
Yes, you're right on Catholic, right? So that was never expected. Now we've seen this before. Look, it's been 4 years. Makes it seem like a long time since Kelly and that coaching change, but there's been all these changes, and now people just forget about February signing day. But what we've seen with heavy hitters, guys like this that are committed to programs where a head coach is fired, were at least being recruited in his case by head coach, he's committed to Ohio State, that they could sometimes say, hey, look, I'm just going to wait till February and kind of see how the dominoes fall here and then go forward with my decision. I think that will be quite telling, right? If he chooses, the Bradford family chooses to say, hey, let's just give you a little bit more time to think on things, that it wouldn't be as rock solid as it's been to this point, where there's really been no speculation as to a flip, and they've kept things pretty quiet. So while I think LSU did have some momentum, Matt, like me and you both felt like, okay, this will come down to it. I don't mean to speak for you as a Catholic High guy, but I do think at the same time that you have to look at it and admit, hey, one team's out here ranked like number 1 in the country, and the other's having to go through a coaching change, and we don't even know who that coach is. So as much as a player like that would have familiarity with LSU, they're sort of in the same boat as a guy like Jace Matthews, where you just don't know what's next, whether it's Corey Raymond staying or who your head coach is.
Before you go, one more quickly, Shea. Any update on Lamar Brown? It seemed pretty quiet last week when we discussed it, but anything there?
Yeah, I mean, look, you got past the A&M game, and you make this decision and kind of overshadowed that you had lost that game, and they were the other team recruiting him. No visits have been scheduled yet. Miami and A&M were the two that have been heavily on him, but he's a guy that is pretty close with Frank Wilson, and until we get a few more games in here, I think, or at least see how this is sort of trending over the next couple of weeks with him making visits elsewhere or not, I think that will be telling. But right now, nothing to report relative to him trending anywhere else.
Just wild. You still got 4 games to go, and it just doesn't even feel like it. The rest of the season has just become such an ancillary piece with obviously Brian Kelly's firing. We'll be following Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger. Y'all get him on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at Shea Dixon. Thank you, man.
Yeah, 3rd of the season. I guess I got to go back to work now.
So
all right,
wild.
man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. We'll see you next week. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor. Remember, it's our patented non-toxic dry fog we tell you about all the time. Parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. It's easy. They'll come by. They'll spray the fog, close up all the doors and the windows. They'll let it dwell. It'll kill everything down to the spores and the mold or other harmful pathogens, all the different bacteria that cause odor. So if you got odor from smoke or pet or sweat or anything, it'll knock it out. It's Parish Restoration. Go to parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. They'll give you a free estimate always. You can fill out that form on the homepage at parishrestoration.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. Tuesday show is powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. When we come back, go around the SEC, and LSU has appointed their new president, the new system president, as you start to have some things fall into place as far as alignment and leadership, which is desperately needed after a tumultuous week just a week ago. We'll get to that as we continue here on AFR.
AFR.
Y'all, Thursday, AFR will be back at Court to Table. Very excited about that. Court to Table, Gordon McKernan's concept there, the pickleball, restaurant, bar, all that sort of stuff right on Burbank. We'll be there for AFR from 3 to 6. Of course, we always encourage you to get Gordon and get it done. Gordon gives back in so many ways to the community, and the investment that he and the other investors made in Court to Table is a giant part of that. Just a great spot right there on Burbank, that corridor heading toward the LSU campus. People who love pickleball. It's also just a great place to go have dinner, watch games, bring the whole family. And we're excited to be there on Thursday at Court to Table for AFR from 3 to 6. So if you've never been, highly recommend you come join us, at least for some part of the show. Come pop by, have a beer, have some dinner after work, bring the family. We'd love to see you this Thursday for AFR from 3 to 6 at Court's Table right there on Burbank. And, of course, you've been injured in an accident. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal. Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's. One love. Let's go.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport.
That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Ladies and gentlemen, after a comprehensive national search and a thoughtful deliberation following interviews with 3 exceptional finalists, the Board of Supervisors has reached a decision. I am honored to announce the appointment of Dr. Wade Roos as the next president of Louisiana State University.
That is Scott Ballard, the president of the LSU Board of Supervisors, announcing that Wade Roos is the new president at LSU. Listen, I'm kind of chuckling a little bit because the whole preamble there about a national search and all, and you hired the guy from McNeese. That was the governor's handpicked guy. But you could have saved us all a lot of time and money and resources and energy and effort and all that stuff and just gone with the guy that was going to get it all the time. This was as predictable as the sun rising. I do not mean in any way for that to discredit Wade Roos because, listen, Terrio, who is one of my best friends in life and sits here with me for 2 hours on Friday, was on the presidential search committee and said plainly that he was the most impressive guy of all of them. So I'm really excited about Wade Roos being the new president at LSU, and I think it's awesome. Yeah, but it was just a little bit of a charade, right? I guess you have to go through the process, but whatever. Most importantly, is that key to success, and listen, I understand this, that, look, I'm an LSU alum. I love the school. I love my alma mater. I want Louisiana State University to be awesome in everything, not just football. I get that 99.9% of the people who live in the state didn't attend LSU. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. You can be a fan of the sports teams. I'm not the guy that's like, you didn't go there. No. Please, by all means, be massive fans of the sports teams. That's one of the things that makes LSU super special. But I understand that most people don't care who the president of the university is. Everyone listening to this show right now cares deeply about the head football coach and the athletic director because you care about the teams winning. So that's cool. But the reason that I think that this, the appointment today of Wade Roos as the new president of LSU, why it's so important, is you start to get the stability with what we often talk about with alignment in leadership, right? Think about Friday. Think about that press conference on Friday. And I said on Friday that, like, Scott Ballard and John Carmouche, who were 2 board members who sat there with Verge Osbury at that press conference, I felt very badly for them. They were in an impossible, unenviable position. These are not trained media people who were sent up to the podium in that press conference to try to answer questions that they literally couldn't answer because we all know why Scott Woodward was out, but they couldn't say it. And but there was nobody else. Your AD had been fired. There was a mutual agreement to part ways. You had an interim president who, as the finalists had been named for full-time president, you're not going to send the interim president up there because you know he's about to be replaced in a few days. And There is no chancellor of the university. It wasn't. So anyway, you can look and go, like, who else would do it? There was nobody else. So it's important to get the alignment, right? From the state level to the university president to the athletic director to the head coach. Like, all of those things have to be pulling in the same direction. And one thing that was evident a week ago is that was not the case. From the governor to the university to the athletic department, it was very obvious, right? We can all agree. Last week, our state became a punchline because of that display a week ago, which was embarrassing for me as an alum and for everyone that would be a fan of the football program. This starts to steer that in the other direction, okay? Verge has been inserted as the interim AD with, as Scott Ballard said, full authority to make a hire. I told you on Friday it was the most important part of that press conference because there's no ambiguity. You didn't have to wait for a new AD. You didn't have to wait for a new president. It said, Verge, go hire a football coach. Perfect. And Verge Osbury is more than qualified to do that. He's been in LSU athletics for 30 years and has been parts of dozens of searches across all different sports. So you've got that in place. Now you've got your university president in place, who I would assume will work toward at some point hiring a full-time AD if it's Verge or someone else. I don't know. But the point is, you know who the decision makers are right now. You're getting that alignment, that structure in place. Frank Wilson has stabilized things on the football side. Verge has stabilized things in the athletic administration side. And now you've got your full-time president, Wade Roos, in as the full-time university president. So last week was not fun for anybody. But days like today and days like Friday and the authority, I told you the most important thing was giving Verge that authority. It starts to stabilize these things so you can make decisions and move forward. You can answer questions that people have. So a big day for LSU, not only the athletic department, but the entire university. And Verge, by the way, is going to be with us in 20 minutes from right now. It'll be the first interview that he does since being named the interim AD after the press conference on Friday. We're excited to have Verge. He'll be with us. He'll answer a lot of the questions that I have that I'm sure a lot of you have as well. That's coming up here right at the top of hour number 2. We are brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Speaking of which, of course, Verge's committee formed to name the next coach. You know, he mentioned E.J. Kuiper, who is the president of the FMOL health system, which, of course, under which Our Lady of the Lake resides, because Our Lady of the Lake has been such an amazing benefactor, not only of LSU athletics, but of the entire university. So if you need any type of specialized care, from your general physician to the Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, standalone children's hospital, to heart health or stroke or anything you might be dealing with, cancer, Our Lady of the Lake, local, world-renowned research and physicians right here in Baton Rouge, the Regional Medical Center, and parts of the FMOL health system across the state of Louisiana. It's Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Missouri Tigers.
Eli Drinkwitz said they got good news on Bo Pribula's injury. They will start freshman Matt Zollers at quarterback Saturday, but Pribula, who started the first 8 games, will be on the sideline. And actually, that's a good sign. The X-ray is, they're working through it. He's in a walking boot, Pribula is, and he'll be on the sideline for the game, so it's a start toward his recovery. Now, return to the field this season might be optimistic for Bo Pribula, but not out of the realm of possibility.
Texas A&M!
Mike Elko gave an update to Le'Veon Moss, the injured Texas A&M running back who's been on the sideline for a month after a leg injury. He suffered back on October the 11th. No update on the time frame for return. However, they're optimistic he will be back in time for the postseason and maybe for the end of the regular season. In 6 games, Moss had 70 rushes for nearly 400 yards.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Kirby Smart gave an injury update on 3 players, Jordan Hall, DeMello Jones, and Chris Cole. Hall, defensive tackle, he'll miss some time with a knee injury. Cole, the linebacker, could come back this week. And Jones, the cornerback, his injury not as bad as they initially thought. Hall started the first 8 games of the season, by the way, at nose tackle before leaving early in the first quarter against Florida.
The Auburn Tigers.
And safety Champ Anthony is going to be out with yet another leg injury. He was on crutches at Tuesday's practice viewing period for the media. Leg injury in the Kentucky loss. Nothing official yet, but is not expected to return this season, according to Auburn Undercover. It's the same leg injury that Anthony broke, or the same leg that Anthony broke last season and spent all offseason rehabbing. All right, there you have it. It is After Further Review. That is around the SEC. We are presented by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Newest location coming right there on Pico in Baton Rouge. Drive by it every day on my way home. You can see it from the interstate, and really excited for when that thing opens up. But in the meantime, Bunkie and below, you want a Deere? You're going to one place. Sunshine. Go to sunequip.com, sunequip.com. Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review, and we're glad you're hanging out with us here. Let me knock out a quick break, wrap up hour number one. Verge Osbury in 15 minutes. When we come back, Shaq set the internet ablaze when he talked about Nick Saban rumors, and I'll address that when we come back. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. The Watermark is Baton Rouge's premier hotel property. Voted by you the best hotel in the best of 225. And you walk into Watermark Baton Rouge, and you'll get it. So bright, the beautiful natural white stone, the marbling all throughout the lobby is gorgeous. You will see the picture of class and luxury when you walk into Watermark Baton Rouge with all of the modern amenities. It's amazing. You want to dine at the Gregory? Great spot to do it. You want to have a cocktail or a glass of wine at the lobby bar? People Watch on 3rd Street? Great spot to do it. Maybe you have family coming in town for Thanksgiving, for the holidays, around Christmas time, or for one of the remaining home football games. Make sure they know about the Watermark, about Watermark Baton Rouge. Stay at Watermark Baton Rouge, quick jaunt right down Nicholson to LSU's campus at Tiger Stadium, and then right back after the game. Enjoy downtown. Enjoy Watermark Baton Rouge.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builder School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
All right, Verge Osbury will be here in 11 minutes from right now. I often say whenever we're talking about news, consider the source. It's something that if you are in the news making, news breaking, or just if you're a consumer in that business, that you should always consider the source to note the validity of something. The internet has been ablaze with all rumors about Nick Saban, and you've all texted them to me, tweeted them to me. I've seen everything that you all have put out there. I think most of it is absolutely insane, foolish. There's not a morsel of truth behind much of what a lot of has been circulated on the internet. When Shaquille O'Neal says something, though, you're going to pay attention. He is, I would argue, LSU's most famous alum in the world. I mean, there just aren't many people walking the face of planet Earth that are immediately recognizable anywhere on the face of planet Earth and that go by one name. Shaq, Universal. He's also worth about $500 million. Anyone associated with LSU, LSU athletics, LSU football, anything, is taking Shaq's call. Shaq is having a different level of conversation than Bob on Reddit. Let's just be honest, okay? Whoever you think your great source is that leads you to go put something on Twitter, it's not as good as Shaq's. Okay? I think we can all agree on that. So Shaq gives an interview to Us Weekly and says that he's hearing through the grapevine that LSU is in talks with Nick Saban, trying to get him to come back to coach at LSU. I'll reiterate something that I often say during the silly season, the coaching carousel cycle, which is consider everything, believe nothing. Consider everything, believe nothing. Remember, 4 years ago, Lincoln Riley was going to be the LSU coach until he wasn't, and then, boom, it's Brian Kelly. Consider everything, believe nothing. So consider the fact that maybe Nick Saban could be LSU's coach, but anything that you're hearing, reading, seeing, don't believe a lick of it as fact. Consider everything, believe nothing. What I will say is that, and I don't mind sharing this piece of it. I know, based on conversations that I personally have had, is that there are people, not in an official capacity with LSU, who have reached out and had conversations with Nick Saban to gauge his interest in the LSU job. I have no problem saying that. Again, not anyone in an official capacity with LSU. But there's plenty of people who are close to Nick Saban from his time here 20 years ago. Nick Saban was involved in a lot of business ventures. You may not know this, but Nick Saban was one of the investors in Perkins Row in Baton Rouge. So there's a lot of people who he and Terry remain friends with, that he has business dealings with, and he's often glowed about his time here. So it shouldn't come as any surprise. Like, I don't even think it's a surprising thing to say that people, influential people, the types of people who write checks, would reach out to Nick to gauge his interest. Okay. No problem with that whatsoever. It's also notable that because Nick isn't coaching, that it's not like you have to worry about any type of tampering or anything like that. Now, I do not believe Nick Saban, opinion, I do not believe Nick Saban is going to coach LSU again. I think it's possible. Consider everything, believe nothing. He's making, while the terms of his ESPN deal are not disclosed, it's safe to assume he's making high 7, maybe low 8 figures, making a ton of money, no stress of all the things that forced him out of college football 2 years ago, gets to stay close to the game, all the things that are very obvious. Does he want to get back in at 74 years old into the culture that he was growing not to love, which is why he left? Probably not. Could LSU make it enticing for him? Sure. And I know we just had this conversation a week ago about the money. and the governor not wanting to give a long-term deal. That's one of the beautiful things about a deal you'd potentially do with Saban. You'd be talking about a 3 to 4 year deal. You wouldn't be talking about a 10-year deal. It would be a high dollar amount, but it would be a short term, so you wouldn't be saddled with the long burden of a buyout or something like that whenever it would come to an end. If you have a chance to get Nick Saban to coach your team for 3 years and reestablish a foundation and hand it off to someone, awesome. Of course you do that. I don't know that I believe that's going to happen, but consider everything, believe nothing. The other thing I'll tell you is what was relayed to me is that from Nick, it wasn't a no. Wasn't a yes, but the fact that it's not a no at least leaves the door ever so slightly ajar to a conversation. A conversation potentially with Verge Osbury, who Nick's known for 30 years. And maybe see where things go. Again, this isn't clickbait. I'm not rumor mongering. I don't think this is happening. And it is totally natural to assume people around LSU would have a conversation with Nick, even just for his consult. Hey, who would you hire? What do you think? But, continue to say it. Consider everything, believe nothing. Or believe nothing, consider everything. Even a Nick Saban return to LSU. We'll keep you posted. All right, Verge Osbury, the man who's going to make that hire, will join us when we come back right after SportsCenter. It's AFR.
AFR.
Supper Club is back open tonight. As a matter of fact, you're about an hour away from opening up the doors over at Supper Club. Get on by, y'all. SupperClubBTR.com. SupperClubBTR.com is the website if you want to book your reservations or you knock off of work and you don't feel like going home. Awesome. Go to Supper Club. Like, y'all know I'm a gigantic whiskey nerd, right? I would put Supper Club's whiskey selection, and not just their whiskey, their tequila, their rum, their cognac, all of it, all of their spirits, and their wine library up against any in Baton Rouge, anywhere. It's amazing. It's Supper Club right there on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge. Brandon and Mackenzie Landry effectively took a world-class, literally a world-class experience, a Vegas, New York, LA, Paris type experience, and put it right there on Perkins Road as a gift to our community. Enjoy it tonight. Supper Club, Baton Rouge.
Trust isn't given, it's earned by showing up, leading the way, and performing at your best when it matters most. Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
While Louisiana politics can seem like they're from another planet, Moon Griffon isn't afraid to bring politicians back down to earth. Listen to the Moon Griffon Show weekday mornings at 9 on Talk 107.3.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team color, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders Pool.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Jets traded not one, but two stars on this NFL trade deadline day. Quarterback Sauce Gardner on his way to the Colts for 2 first-round picks, one in 2026, another in 2027, plus receiver A.D. Mitchell. Gardner filling a need in Indy's cornerback room, explains ESPN NFL analyst Jeff Saturday.
You pair him back there with Cam Bynum, Kenny Moore, Travarius Ward when he gets back. You're talking about a very strong defensive backfield. Maybe opportunities to play some man instead of just zone. We're seeing some of the best defenses when you have to do it to bring pressure. So maybe they're just thinking, hey, look, we got a shot at this thing.
The Jets also sending defensive tackle Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys for a 2026 second-round pick, 2027 first-rounder, and defensive tackle Maisie Smith. Chargers got help for their injury-plagued O-line, sent a 2027 sixth-rounder to the Saints for Trevor Penning. Seahawks banged-up receiver corps, getting a boost. Got Rashid Shaheed from the Saints for 2026 fourth and fifth-round picks. The Cardinals are staying with quarterback Jacoby Brissett as their starter against Seattle on Sunday.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Wednesday, the Giants sit at 2-7 for the third straight season. Jackson Dart has looked good, but is it enough to save Brian Daboll's job? It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusu. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Ross Jackson, bottom of this hour. Saints do 2 trades at the deadline. They trade Rashid Shaheed and Trevor Penning. Ross Jackson will be here to get a reaction. Sean Salsbury 1 hour from right now. On Friday, Verge Osbury was named LSU's interim athletic director with full autonomy to hire LSU's next football coach. Verge, good enough to spend a couple of minutes with us here. I know it's busy. Thank you for the time. How are you?
Doing great, Matt. Everything's going well. We just had a president, Dr. Ruth, is our new president, and we have also a chancellor of our campus now. So we have alignment. That's what we've been waiting for. From the board, you have a president, you have the chancellor provost. So we feel that we're in very, very good shape right now.
Your first time in since 2012 when they combined the president and chancellor's office. So now basically, someone asked what a chancellor. That's basically the person that's going to run the Baton Rouge campus, the main campus where the president will run the entire system. You mentioned alignment, Verge, and I was talking about it a bit in the last hour, but it is one of those things that, a week ago it was evident with so much sort of just a void in a lot of the leadership spots. You're starting to fill those now. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit on why that is so important in this very formative part of LSU athletics.
Well, it's important to any athletic department, especially LSU. That alignment means a lot. And you have leadership. You don't have leadership. You have a lot of boys there. It really, really hurts you. It hurts you out there going out in the market. People want to know, who they report to, who they answer to. That's very, very important in our system. And we had to make sure we get the president first. And, we didn't know they was going to split it up and put the provost chancellor position, but we had to get a president here. And Dr. Roos and I met during the interview process, and he understands how important football is and how important athletics is to LSU, the front portion of the house. So we'll be working close together. He'll be helping us, joining us, consulting with us on this football search. That's what we needed. And talking to people out there, agents and candidates and other people in the business, they will always ask them, who's going to be the president? Who we report to? Who's the AD? I'm the interim AD. So you have to make them feel comfortable in what we were doing, and the board is still there, and just the system we had. But everybody has to be in alignment. Don't have that alignment, then you're really going to have problems no matter what coach you pick. And that's something that's really important to us.
You mentioned that you spoke to Dr. Roos during the process, the interview process. What were your impressions speaking with him?
Very calm, very down to earth. Knows the business side of universities. It knows economics, knows finances, and that's important for us, especially in the new age where we're going, especially in athletics, especially as a university. Just try to make sure that we are all in the right position financially. And what we do when we hire coaches and hire people, he wants to be involved, and that's important for us. We want him to be involved. The president is not involved with what you're doing, you're really going to have some problems down the road.
You mentioned that Dr. Roos will be assisting in the search. On Friday, you mentioned 4 committee members and then a 5th who you didn't name. Is that the 5th committee? Is Dr. Roos the 5th committee member? Or is there someone else that maybe is just choosing to remain anonymous?
He'll be that consultant, yes. That's what we were waiting for, the president to be hired, and that's who we kind of wanted to have in there to make sure he helps us. He needs to be a part of it. Every football search I've been a part of, the president has been involved. President or the chancellor, depending. Back then it was a chancellor, but now the president has been involved with it in every major search. And especially the football search, that search is huge. It's $200 million to the Baton Rouge, to the LSU Athletic Department. And it's about $700 million to the Baton Rouge economy. So it means so much to this institution, the whole LSU brand, that it's important. I would like him to be a part of this process with us.
What about the new chancellor? Who's coming in from Alabama, Jim Dalton? Will he have a say in the coaching search hire as well?
No. He'll be handling the research and academic part of the campus. Athletics reports directly to the president. That's how he has it set up.
Verge Osbury is our guest. Last week, Verge was it was a tumultuous week, I think, for everybody. We've talked about alignment, establishing some of this. What has been the response that you've gotten to the LSU job in light of everything that happened last week?
Very positive. We are moving forward. I mean, a lot of excitement about the job. A lot of our targets that we've been targeting have really good feedback about the job. So we feel that we're in a really, really good position right now, and we just have to make sure, get everybody together, start talking to people here in the process. But I think we're strong. I think we've moved forward. I think, coaches look at things a little differently. They don't get caught into the political part of it and the politics. They see what's going on. But, LSU is a job where you think you come here and win. It's a great opportunity. And coaches take it as a challenge, too. It's a great program, one of the best in the country. But, things are changing now, too, in our business. It's, with the NIL and the rev sharing and all the transfer portal, those things have changed a lot. And we have to be careful with it. We're not the NFL. In the NFL, there's alignment. In NFL, you have the owner, you have the general manager, you have the players. It's vertically, like Coach Saban say. But here, it's so big. You have the agents, you have the parents. So we have to make sure that there are the right mechanisms in place to help the new coach, no matter who that new coach is. I think the days of seeing a coach win, 5, 6 national championships, that's not going to be the same, especially with the rev share. We just have to make sure that what we're doing here, the things that we have in place, the infrastructure that we have here at LSU, is good enough to support the coach. So every year, tonight the college football playoffs will come up. So every year we need to be mentioned in that. Even if you're not in the top 12 or the top 16, your name, you're right there on the brink. You know, the month of November is a long month, and we're going to play ourselves into it. Last year, I think Ohio State was ranked 10th in the college football where they were seeded at. And they ended up, they lost their last game, but they won the national championship. They got hot at the right time. That's where we need to be at LSU. We got to always be in that mix. The Georgias, the Ohio States, those are two programs that, you know, comparable to LSU. That's where we need to be at LSU.
Verge Osbury is our guest. So, well, you mentioned Nick Saban. I'm sure you've seen Shaq and Us Weekly said, I heard through the grapevine that they were having conversations with Nick Saban. So are you or anyone affiliated with LSU having conversations with Nick Saban?
Nick Saban and I have a standing conversation probably every 2 to 3 weeks. We're good friends, first of all, and a person that I admire a lot. And Coach Saban was joking, no way he's coming back to football, okay? And Miss Terry's not going to let him. So That's not going to happen. Let's get that out the way soon. Because, if he was and he was interested, I'll go drive down there and pick him up right now and bring him back.
Okay, wait. So, wait, Verge, you're saying no shot?
I think that has run its course, okay?
Okay.
But, you know, he works for ESPN now, and he does consulting with people and talk to people. And you get to see things out there. And he gets to tell you about different coaches he see and observe. So I ask him questions about what it takes to coach the LSU job. And I always ask him that. And times have changed since the time he's been here. He didn't have all the different things that we have now. That's why he kept saying about the infrastructure, what we have here, what we have set up here. You don't win just because you're LSU. You have to win because you're doing the right things and the right things in place, the right mechanisms, the right infrastructure. I keep hitting on those words because that's what's important, the right people in the system. And then the coach has to be the one to have the right fit when he's here. Does he fit with the players? Does he fit with the culture down here? You know, at LSU, we have many constituents. You have faculty, you have staff, you have students, you have alumni, you have boosters, you have donors, you have NIL donors, you have corporate sponsors, you have 340-some organizations on this campus. So you have to fit some kind of way in all of that, not including the Baton Rouge and Louisiana community. So that coach has to be the right fit for this program. All these coaches could coach X's and O's. They could draw it up. They could call plays. They could do all of that. But are they the right fit for the institution? Are they the right fit at LSU?
Is head coaching experience you said you're going to hire the best coach. You said that on Friday. Is head coaching experience a prerequisite for the next hire?
You know, in our process right now, Matt, we're wide open. But we would like someone to have head coaching experience. Even if he's not a head coach now, have the experience. You know, LSU, like I said, it's a hard job. It's a two-hand on 18-wheeler job. You take your eyes off the road, you take your hands off the wheel, you'll flip it over. So it's something about managing people. You're managing over 140 people in that building, the head football coach at LSU, not including all the players, 135 players. So you're running a mini organization. My job is I run the corporation as athletic director. But there's many small corporations underneath you. And football is one of them. But football is a major corporation underneath you because bottom line, it's 89 and 90% of our budget. And that's why it's so important because it funds everything we do in athletics. And that's why we have hiccups, we have bumps and bruises. But we got to come out of it. And that's why football is so important.
You prefer head coaching experience, but not a prerequisite, if I understand correctly. Okay.
Correct. Correct.
Is there, in Verge, this is the really complicated one. You've touched on it a little bit just with like the alignment and how to build a team today, but the timeline is so complex because of the December signing periods, December the 3rd, and then the January portal period. What is the timeline for hiring the next coach?
You know, we're trying to get that. We don't have an actual timeline. We are aware of those dates. You know, December 3rd is the signing date. I think Frank Wilson has done a great job of holding this together and putting us in the right position. We haven't lost any kid on our team yet, talking about getting in the portal or leaving or transferring. And we hadn't lost anybody, any recruits yet in one of the top recruiting classes. So, yeah, that signing date, December 3rd, is coming up quickly. We hopefully be around that time, know kind of what direction we're going and who we have. And the next part is the portal from January 2nd to the 16th. So that's things that we're staying focused on and paying a lot of attention to, but that will play a part of this coaching hire.
So in theory, like if there were a coach, again, this is hypothetical, if there were a coach who made the playoffs and was coaching beyond January 1st, that wouldn't necessarily eliminate them from consideration?
No, it would not.
Okay. Verge, there's one other thing. You mentioned a bit ago all the searches that you've been on, and I don't know that people – I was hoping you could shed some light on this because, I mean, you and I think, if I'm doing this correctly, like 4 football coaching searches and 3 different men's basketball searches. I mean, you've been on like dozens of these committees over the years selecting coaches for LSU in all different sports. Football, the revenue generating, the non-revenue sports. Can you kind of shed some light just on the formatics of like what you're doing now for the audience to understand? Like, are you talking to agents? Is this like a 24/7 thing? Is it slow now? It picks up later? Like, how does this whole process work? I mean, if you can elaborate to whatever degree you can.
You're making calls 24/7. And you pick up your phone every chance you get. There's the agents calling, the representative of coaches calling, and you're just trying to talk to them to gauge their interest. Where are they? A lot of times they want to talk to me personally to get that feel about who I'm going to be working for. Is Verge Osbury going to be the AD, the interim AD? We don't know. But they want to know who they're talking to and who they're communicating with, and the agent wants to know that. They're not going to put their clients out there and there's no person they can report to. So that's the important part of this here, and that's what we're trying to make people feel comfortable with, in the position I'm in, and those opportunities will come later. But right now, we want to hire the right person, and that's why it's so important to hire the president. But it's a long process, and we start the process. Matt, we start this process when you hire a coach. You automatically start looking for your next coach. And you hope your coach stays here 20 years. But you have to make sure that you're doing what's right, because you never know what could happen in our business. And you watch a lot of football, you watch a lot of sporting events and say, you know what? It's like, that guy's a great coach. He does some great things. They win. But you also have to make sure to look at it and say, is that coach a great fit for us here? And I think that's what we have to do our due diligence on and make sure that we're looking at that a little deeper.
So who do you think is a great coach and a great fit?
There's a lot of people. That's a long list.
You can't blame me for asking.
No, you can ask, but no, a person that relates to the players, a person that have a presence in our state in Louisiana, a person that understands what we do here in Louisiana and how much it means to the people in Louisiana, but also for the young men who play for him to have fun, graduate, be better people, and have relationships with them, building relationships. That's the good fit. That's all. Could he relate to the players? Could he communicate with the players? We know all the guys on our list are great football coaches, but how do they fit in here with what we do?
Can I see your list?
No, I don't have one.
One more thing, Verge, before you go. Scott Ballard said on Friday that you have the full authority to make the head coaching hire. You mentioned Dr. Roos will now be part of the search. Just formatically, would the president have to approve whatever hire you make?
The president's always approved. The president of the board, they have to approve. They have to approve the contracts, those type of things. But we'll be on the same team. We'll look at all the people out there and all the people we're talking to. And I think he trusts me right now. I talked to Dr. Roos about this, where we are kind of in the process, who we're looking at, our target. And he was happy with that. So we'll definitely be talking to him, and I definitely want him to be a part of this. He has to be a part of it. But this here is bigger than just the athletic department. It's the whole LSU brand.
Busy time, I know. Thanks for taking a few minutes to join us today. We'll be in touch.
No, man, Matt. Thank you so much.
That is LSU Athletic Director Verge Ausberry joining us for a couple of minutes here on this Tuesday. First interview Verge has done since Friday when he was named the interim AD. We do appreciate his time. Let's break and react to that when we come back here on AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
AFR.
GLO, glowresources.com, complete employer solutions. Tell you what, you're looking to make a hire? Maybe you're looking to hire a coach. Call Glow Resources. They can help you. They know the questions to ask. I actually don't know if they've ever hired a football coach. That's probably that might be out of their purview. Maybe the one thing out of their purview, but you want C-level management? They can help you with that. Any type of office job, office assistant, up to C-level management, skilled blue-collar labor, literally any job, any industry, our friends at Glow Resources can help, and they're right here in Baton Rouge. Corporate office is right there on Perkins Road near Quail Oak, right near Pennington. And they also have an office in New Orleans and all over the Southeast. And they serve companies all over the world, quite literally. They're a massive business, and it's so impressive to look at their operation. But the bottom line is we all know that people make your business efficient. You need the right people. Glow Resources can help. So check them out online at glowresources.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories,
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Look at her face. She ain't a fooling me.
All right, thanks to Verge Osbury for joining us there. I know an incredibly busy time, and today LSU announced Dr. Wade Roos is the new university president. They also announced a new chancellor today for the Baton Rouge campus. So it's an important time. You could understand just having that convo with Verge, the importance of getting leadership in place. Otherwise, you're a leaderless army. And that's what it felt like a week ago. That's why there was so much. Unease last week, because you didn't have the alignment Verge mentioned for one singular authoritative figure who could step up and say, this is the answer, this is the direction. I mean, we sat there at that press conference on Friday and didn't even know who was in charge of what, which is why I said on Friday, the singular most important thing to come of that press conference was saying that Verge Osbury has the authority to hire the football coach. That was the singular most important thing, because now every agent, every representative, prospective coach, they know who the decision maker is now. And Verge even said it there. Look, yeah, every hire is subject to board approval. Of course it is. But you're giving your athletic director, in this case your interim AD, Verge Osbury, the authority to go hire a coach. So now what he says are the guiding principles of this search. So a few things that Verge said there that I found interesting. Head coaching experience is preferred but not required. And I do think that's important because of a lot of the candidates that we've talked about here. We've mentioned, for example, Kelvin Shepard or Joe Brady. Those are guys that have not been head coaches before. And listen, we've seen both ends of this spectrum. Georgia hired Kirby Smart, first-time head coach. Before that, they hired Mark Richt, first-time head coach. Oklahoma, look at their last 3 hires. Bob Stoops was a first-time head coach. Lincoln Riley was a first-time head coach. Brent Venables was a first-time head coach. Dabo was a first-time head coach at Clemson. I can run through a lot of examples of schools that have hired first-time head coaches. Ryan Day was a first-time head coach at Ohio State. Sharon Moore right now at Michigan is a first-time head coach. Like, major programs have and will hire first-time head coaches. You just got to believe you got the right guy. So, especially in this era where you just hired the guy who was the winningest active coach in college football, and it didn't work. It's more about finding the best guy in the current state of college football for your job. Oregon hired Dan Lanning, first-time head coach. A guy that for me would be at the top of my list. Notre Dame hired Marcus Freeman, first-time head coach. Got him in the championship game a year ago. I'm good, in this era especially, hiring someone who is a first-time head coach if you get the right guy. So Verge said head coaching experience is preferred but not a prerequisite. I thought a couple other things that were interesting. When I asked him about the timeline, he said they would wait on someone coaching in the college football playoff, even if it meant not hiring your coach until after the December signing period and the January portal period. And that's notable, y'all, because there is no spring portal period anymore. And so if you, and remember, pretty much all of the high school signees sign in December now. So you would have to do an exceptional job communicating to your recruits to have these young people sign in December if you don't have your coach in place. Now, the flip side of that is it would also stand to reason that if you don't have your coach in place in December, you're waiting for someone in the playoff. And at that point, it could really narrow down, right? Playoff or an NFL coach. Maybe Kelvin Shepard, Joe Brady, some of the names that we've talked about, right? Or potentially Frank Wilson. So I think that's important to note. Ideally, in a perfect world, the regular season ends that Saturday when you play Oklahoma. And like Sunday, you're hiring your coach. Ideally. It just doesn't always work that way. So if it does have to bleed into December when teams' seasons end in the playoff, maybe it goes there. Verge said they're not opposed to that. I think this is another important note. On Friday, when they had the press conference, Verge mentioned 4 members of his committee. Of course, the 2 men that were there with him on the podium that day, and Scott Ballard, the president of the board, and John Carmouche, who's the president of the athletics committee on the board. And then he also mentioned E.J. Kuiper, who's the president CEO of the FMOL health system. And then also Ben Bordelon, who he's got 2 sons on the team, played at LSU, and is the CEO of Bollinger, and they're a major benefactor of LSU. So those 4, and Verge mentioned there would be a 5th, and he didn't name that person. And today he confirmed that it is Wade Roos, the new president. So he was waiting, obviously, to see who would be hired. At that point on Friday, there were the 3 finalists. Today, Dr. Roos has been named as the new president of LSU, so he'll be the 5th member of that committee. So those are the 5 members of the committee. And then maybe interesting as well, Verge kind of chuckled at the notion of Saban. Do you have that audio, by the way, on Saban? Yeah, here you go. This was Verge talking about when I asked him about Saban.
Nick Saban and I have a standing conversation probably every 2 to 3 weeks. We're good friends, first of all, and a person that I admire a lot. And Coach Saban was joking, no way he's coming back to football, okay? And Miss Terry's not going to let him. So That's not going to happen. Let's get that out the way soon. Because if he was and he was interested, I'll go drive down there and pick him up right now.
Okay, wait. So, Verge, you're saying no shot?
I think that has run its course, okay?
Okay. You can't be more declarative than that. I mean, Nick Saban could obviously have a change of heart. He could change his mind. And you heard Verge say, if he was interested, I'd drive over there and pick him up. But I think maybe the more important thing there, and again, I don't know how much more definitively I could say it. I don't think Nick Saban's going to be the coach. But as long as there's rumblings and rumors and things that appear credible, like Shaq is a credible person, I'll talk about it. But for me, I think the more important thing there is Verge saying, I talk to Nick Saban every 2 to 3 weeks. Two things. Number one, Verge can consult with Nick. What do you think? That's number one. Two, doesn't that speak to Verge's credibility? It's why I have no problem, like zero reservations whatsoever about Verge Osbury making this hire and leading this search. He played football at LSU. He's been an athletic administrator at LSU for 30 years, maybe even longer than that. I have to see the exact year when he started, but it was shortly after he finished playing. Like, Verge has seen everything for 3 decades. Like, yeah, I'm okay with Verge making the hire. Completely okay with it. And there's strikes and gutters, but yeah, I'm good with it for sure. So, and that speaks to the credibility he has for as respected as he is for as long as he's been an athletics administrator. All right, it's after further review. Let me not get a break. Brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com, WilliamsonEye.com for the Williamson Eye Center. If you want to see 2020, call 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. Hey, look, we're nearing the end of the year. If you have HSA or FSA funds, don't let them expire. You can use those to get that refractive procedure. No one better than Dr. Blake Williamson at the Williamson Eye Center. More than 75 years serving our communities here in South Louisiana. WilliamsonEye.com, WilliamsonEye.com. Okay, quick break. Let me get back on track here. Ross Jackson is here next. Trade deadline came and went. Saints shipped off 2 players, Rashid Shaheed and Trevor Penning. Ross will be with us to react and make sense of all of it, how the Saints move forward. That's next. It's AFR.
After further review.
If you're thinking of selling your home, first, you got to know how much your home is worth, right? So a lot of times, if you're going to go buy a new home, first you have to sell your current home, use that money as a down payment, whatever the case may be. Well, you got to know how much your home is worth. Well, how do you figure that out? Agent225.com, agent225.com, agent225.com. I want you to go to the website right now. It's Darren James's website. And Darren has an awesome tool on the homepage. It's the home value tool. It doesn't matter if you're on desktop or mobile. If you're on mobile, just scroll. You'll just start scrolling. You'll see it says home value. And there's a bar where you can enter your address. Just enter your home address, and literally in a matter of seconds, it'll use local market data to give you an accurate price of what your home is worth today. Agent225.com. Go to the website right now. It's for Darren James. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
After
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
She's always staring at me while I'm chugging along.
All right, NFL trade deadline about 90 minutes ago it passed. The New Orleans Saints were sellers. The New Orleans Saints were sellers at the trade deadline. Ross Jackson, LouisianaSports.net. Good to join us here for a couple of minutes. How are you, man? I'm sorry? All right, we don't have Ross. All right, we're trying to connect here with Ross Jackson. I want to talk about what the Saints did today here at the trade deadline, moving both Rashid Shaheed and Trevor Penning. Rashid for a 4 and a 5 to Seattle, and then Trevor Penning goes to the Chargers for a 2027 7th-round pick. So we'll connect with Ross. Oh, we have. Okay. Ross is with us now. How are you, man?
Hey, buddy. Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Of course. We appreciate the time. All right. Reaction to what the Saints did with the two moves they make.
Yeah. I think that they needed to make moves. I had made the argument that they needed to make multiple moves today here ahead of the trade deadline. They got that done. They've gone from having 11 selections over the course of the next two drafts to now being back to having 14. And they could potentially have an additional one coming their way if they, don't have Isaac Adam hit the field much more for the rest of the season. They could get that 4th-round compensatory selection from Paulson Adebo. I think that the return on the Rashid Shaheed deal is fair. I think that the return that the Saints got on Trevor Penning, a 2027 6th-round pick, was not enough, or I guess was less than I expected. Let me say it that way. Anything that you can get back for Trevor Penning was probably a good move for New Orleans. But, man, getting a 6th-round pick next, a year later just felt like a little bit of a low return for a starting offensive line.
Let's talk about Shaheed. So they get they send Shaheed to Seattle for a 4 and a 5. Make sense of this deal and why it makes sense for New Orleans.
Yeah, look, it's tough in terms of the sentimental value of losing a guy like Rashid Shaheed, who was, I'll happily say, like one of the nicest guys in the locker room and was an absolute playmaker on the field as well. Just kind of checked all the boxes of star potential in the NFL. But in order to get value, you have to give value. And so the Saints moved a player that was on an expiring contract, that there was no guarantee that he would re-sign with the team and that he would potentially look to hit the open market this offseason. With that, the Saints got effectively good value back. I think getting a 4th and a 5th gives you a pretty good return based on the fact that the Jacoby Myers trade earlier in the day was for a 4th and a 6th. You came in above the market at the position, and at most you're probably going to get a 4th-round pick all by itself a year from now when it came to potential compensatory selection if you would have gone out and signed elsewhere. And so the Saints kind of beat the market on both of those sides. They get a 4th-round pick this year, but then they add the 5th-round pick as well. Those are rounds where the Saints can find some talent And also, those are selections that the team can use to move around in a draft as well to go and get the guys that they might be targeting.
So, Ross, just to clarify, was there not a sense that Shaheed was looking to re-sign with the Saints this offseason, or the Saints weren't going to be willing to pay market value?
I think that there was some mutual interest in returning. There hadn't been many conversations that took place between the team and Shaheed up to this point, which might have been a little bit of a signifier of understanding that they could potentially come to this point at the trade deadline. But whether or not a deal was going to be reached in between would have come down to when those negotiations actually began. The thing is that the talks hadn't really started. And so either the team was open to the opportunity of potentially moving him at the trade deadline and was looking for the opportunity there, wanted to leave the door open for it, or they would have gotten to the end of the season and then started the conversations there. And then at that point, there's no guarantee that anything would have reached an agreement. And so this way, the Saints get better than what they would have gotten had a deal not been reached in the offseason.
Let's talk about Penning. So if you get a 2027 sixth-round pick for a guy that was a first-rounder, why do you do the deal?
Yeah, it feels like, it's the way that I said it on Locked On Saints today was, if I'm your server, I'd rather you not tip me than tip me $1. You know what I mean? Go to hell with that. I don't want it. You know what I mean? And so, to me, that's kind of what that felt like. And it's like, I
keep
get
your
it.
stinking
you know
dollar a-hole. I don't want your dollar.
Take
You
it
need
home.
it more than me.
Yeah, clearly. I'm good. But, man, I don't know. On that one, I was just kind of like, wow, really a future six for a guy that, and not just the guy that they drafted in the first round, but a guy that they traded first, second, third, and seventh round picks in years after in order to be able to get that second, that pair of first round picks that went to drafting him and wide receiver Chris Olave. So there's all of this other sort of ancillary value that's tied up in that draft pick as well. And so it just kind of felt like the Saints didn't really get enough there. But could they have gotten more? Clearly not, because if they could have gotten more, they would have done that. And so my big question, though, is could you have gotten something better than a 2027 six by letting him hit the market? Because I don't think they would have brought him back after this year. If they would have done that and then he would have signed elsewhere, could they have gotten something better than a sixth-round pick? We see guards get overpaid in the NFL all the time, season after season, because the position doesn't have a lot of talent across the league. And so that was the part that was a little bit shocking to me.
Trevor Penning and Andrews Pete were starting guards in the league for less. Cesar Ruiz is still a starting guard in the NFL despite not being good at his job. So, yes, it is hard to find sometimes starting guards in the NFL. Ross Jackson's with us. As you heard him say, Locked On Saints, podcast, YouTube, and, of course, you can read him over at louisianasports.net. Okay, Ross, with no Shaheed and no Penning, the two starters, where do the Saints turn for the final 8 games of the year?
Yeah, so at wide receiver, this is a perfect opportunity for the Saints to finally really start to get Devon Vele involved in their offense. He has gotten 10 targets so far this season, despite the Saints giving up a 4th and a future 7th to get him here to New Orleans at the beginning of the offseason. And so to get him out on the field now is a huge opportunity for the Saints to be able to evaluate what it is that they spent some draft capital on earlier on in the offseason. So I think that he'll become a big part of it. I'll be curious to see how Mason Tipton also gets maybe more involved as a field stretcher along with Chris Olave. And then we'll see, too, there's always a chance that Trey Palmer can come off of injured reserve. So they have some of these options at wide receiver. But the thing that I'm most highlighting for New Orleans when it comes to that position is the opportunity to get a full evaluation on Devon Vele and actually get him involved in the offense and on the field. At offensive line, I think this is easy. They go straight to Dylan Radins. The Saints started Dylan Radins the first 3 games before Trevor Penning was ready to go at the beginning of the season. Remember, he was dealing with the injury to open up the year, and so he missed the first 2 games. And 2 of those 3 games where Dylan Radins was the starter, this team went up against good rushing defenses in Arizona and San Francisco and ran for over 100 yards. Since Trevor Penning's been the starter, they had the 100-yard rushing game up against the Buffalo Bills, who were the penultimate, one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL during that game, have not rushed for 100 yards since then. So I'll be very interested to see if Dylan Radins is the missing piece to that category, to see if the Saints maybe get better blocking out of Dylan Radins in the run game, which would then support their young quarterback.
Was there anybody not traded who you thought would be?
there were a lot of options in terms of players that could be traded. You mentioned Cesar Ruiz earlier, linebacker Pete Werner, another veteran guy like Isaac Yiadom. Of course, there was a lot of conversation around Chris Olave, Carl Granderson, and others. Like, there were a lot of players that were, kind of tied into trade rumors and trade talks and things like that. However, I didn't think the Saints were going to make a single move today, if I'm being entirely honest. I thought they were going to strike out. And so to see them go up there and get any moves done, to me, that is the highlight. Otherwise, if they would have come out and they would have not made any moves, that would not have been shocking to me at all. And look, they got the Trevor Penning one in at the buzzer, right as the trade deadline was ending up. So they almost walked away with only one move getting done. I think them getting 2 moves done, 3 picks in, that's a good day for the Saints here at the trade deadline.
He is Ross Jackson, Locked On Saints and LouisianaSports.net. Anything else I'm missing?
No, not at this point. I mean, this is the biggest thing is just going to be now where things go when it comes to the Saints utilizing those draft picks. That's what everything's going to be about now from here on forward. Getting the evaluation on Devon Vele is going to tell you a lot. Figuring out if maybe Dylan Radins can be a guy that's a part of their future, that's going to be a big part. But how they utilize those draft picks and what they do with them is going to tell the rest of the story around these moves.
How do you get an evaluation on Tyler Shuck with this offensive line and trading away your best offensive weapon? I mean, bro, this is it'll feel a lot like Spencer Rattler a year ago, quite honestly.
Yeah, I mean, look, Spencer Rattler went through something very similar. Yeah, I would say to an even further extent, and he came away out of that feeling like, and having given the team enough confidence to be willing to roll with him, a new regime the next year. There's no telling. I mean, look, here's the one thing. If Tyler Shuck pans out, there will be no question marks around it, right? Like, you'll know. It'll be obvious if he's going to work in this scenario and in this situation. And who knows, maybe Devon Vele gives the Saints a little bit of an element that they weren't able to take advantage of, a little bit more in the intermediate area as opposed to all this, short game or, when they can't get the deep hit. And then maybe they get better play out of their offensive line. Maybe there's an addition by subtraction kind of a situation here. So there are areas where this could work out. But if Tyler Shuck does pan out, there'll be no confusion about it. It'll be obvious.
I just love that you're an eternal optimist, Ross. We all should be more like you. He is Ross Jackson. LouisianaSports.net is where you can read him. You can listen or watch to the Locked On Saints podcast. Thank you.
Thank you, bud. Take care. Stay safe. Talk to you soon.
All right. We appreciate it. That's Ross Jackson. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com. This is industrial Generac generator power. It's not for your home. It's for your business. So what does a loss of power mean for your business? At Arco Power Systems, they make sure that the roads are working, the phones, the dispatchers for 911, that life continues through an event. At Arco Power Systems, they have sales, service, installation, maintenance, support, and emergency response. They do it all. If it's turnkey service, so be proactive. They sell, they lease, they service. If you need a generator for your business, you need Arco Power Systems. And by the way, it ain't just Baton Rouge. I mean, it is the whole state of Louisiana. They go north to Little Rock, east to Mobile, west to San Antonio, Houston, Austin, Dallas. They're everywhere. It's Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com for Arco Power Systems. All right, we're not going to break. Come back, wrap up hour number 2. Muso, we'll do Tigers and the Pros, and then Sean Salsbury in 15 minutes. Stay here.
After further review.
Turned on the heater last night. No worries, though. I get my heater safety check every year, just like you should do. From River City's 1 Hour Air. Give them a buzz, y'all. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. They'll come by. They'll make sure that your home central heater is clean, safe, and efficient to run for the cold weather months. Kayla Bennett sent this 5-star Google review. My technician, Eric, was extremely thorough on my first maintenance appointment. I'm very happy with the turnaround time and the customer service. Highly recommend. Another 5-star Google review. Mine's been in there for years. Erica and I have been customers, River City's 1 Hour Air, for as long as we've been married and been homeowners. They do amazing work, and I always, always, always recommend joining their maintenance club. You get complimentary seasonal maintenance on your AC and your heater as part of your maintenance club membership. It's River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
Banking on the go? Our mobile app makes it effortless. But at Campus Federal, you're more than just an account number. We build relationships with our members, supporting you from saving for college to owning your first home. If you're buying a car, planning a home renovation, or a vacation, we're here to help. Campus Federal Credit Union, your trusted financial partner for every stage of life. Start your journey today.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
While Louisiana politics can seem like they're from another planet, Moon Griffon isn't afraid to bring politicians back down to earth. Listen to the Moon Griffon Show weekday mornings at 9 on Talk 107.3.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
All right, Sean Salsbury will be with us here after the top of the hour. Zion's hurt again. Pelicans confirmed grade 1 hamstring. So, I'm sure he'll miss the rest of the year on that. That's speculative on my part. I'm just using history as an indicator here. We'll keep you posted as we know more. Right now, Muso has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Oh, that's actually a great segue because we had a full slate of NBA action on Monday night with former Tigers in action.
Can't wait.
What?
Can't wait.
Oh. We'll start with Naz Reid for the Timberwolves.
Should have stayed.
Naz, 24 minutes in a bench role, 21 points. Here along with 3 boards. He also had a block and a steal. 70% from the floor and 67% from 3. He really lit it up. Plus 14. He was all over the place, for the Timberwolves last night, contributing to a big double-digit point win over the Nets. Cam Thomas, of course, with the Nets on the other side of that game. Starting role for Cam, 35 minutes, 25 points. That puts Cam Thomas as the Nets' leading scorer in the ballgame. Shot 10 to 24. Dominant from the free throw line as he normally is. Also threw in 3 assists and 2 steals in that one. Tari Eason with the Houston Rockets. He got a start a night ago as well. Shot 66% from the floor. Totaled up 15 points in the ballgame as well. Awesome breakaway slam dunk for Tari as well against the Mavericks in that one. And the Rockets would go ahead and get the win. You'll remember in the offseason, Trendon Watford signed a 2-year, $5 million deal
I actually don't remember
with
that.
the Philadelphia 76ers. Oh, well, Matt, in the offseason, Trendon Watford signed a 2-year,
Well, don't tell me what I will
$5 million
remember.
deal
Don't tell me what I'll remember.
with
I
the
don't remember
76ers.
that.
And it looks
You
like it's
remember that.
it looks like it's a great deal so far for the Sixers. 16 points off the bench with 9 rebounds, so a near double-double for Trendon Watford and the Sixers as well. Victorious by double digits. That's Tigers of the Pros.
Presented by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, vinyl siding. They do it all. They do it better than anyone. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Tell you, man, when the weather gets cold, woke up this morning, it's 42 degrees. I'm so thankful for our energy-efficient replacement windows, because what you'll notice, you ever walk by windows and they're really drafty? That's because you have air leaks. They're not sealed properly. And so whenever it's cold, you get that cold draft coming through the crevices in those windows. Well, that means that your heater has to work overtime to keep your home warm. So you want to lower your energy bill? Install energy-efficient replacement windows from Relief Windows. They measure twice, install once, every window custom-made to the exact specifications of your home, and they come with a lifetime transferable warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. They will never be the cheapest, but they will always, always, always be the best, no exceptions. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. All right, y'all. It is After Further Review. Tuesday show is powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Shea Dixon was here in hour one. Thanks to Verge Osbury, who was just here with us a bit ago, LSU's interim AD. Sean Salsbury jumps aboard. I got to get Sean's take on Tyler Shuck's debut. But then also, my goodness, how do you go about evaluating a quarterback when you just traded away your best offensive weapon and the offensive line is a total mash unit? Spencer Rattler had to go that a year ago, and Tyler Shuck's about to face it as well. Hour 3 is next.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Hey, look, Rouse's is always a great spot, as we tell you, to get by if you're having a tailgate, a home gate, game watch party, whatever it may be. You got people coming over. Rouse's has everything you need for your game day. All your party platters, tailgate trays, cheese trays, mini muffalettas, the drumettes, ribs. They can do it all. Whatever you want in their deli, their meat market, they can do those trays for you. It's awesome. Fruit trays, vegetable trays. It's awesome. Of course, grab and go. Super easy. Call them, tell them what you want, when you want to pick it up. They'll have it ready for you over at Rouse's. Also, coming up here in a few weeks, Taste of the Holidays on November the 15th. We'll tell you more about that. You can get more info at Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. But making groceries, they've been helping you do that for 65 years at Rouse's. So download the app or go to Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com, Rouse's. This feels like home.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A pair of blockbuster deals on this NFL trade deadline day with 2 Jets stars on the move, defensive tackle Quinnen Williams and cornerback Sauce Gardner. Williams going to the Cowboys for a 2026 second-round pick, 2027 first-rounder, and defensive tackle Maisie Smith. Gardner heading to the Colts for 2 first-round picks, one in 2026, another in 2027, plus receiver A.D. Mitchell. The trades among those deals allowing the Jets to stockpile draft picks, and that is a positive, explains our Harry Douglas.
Reset the entire organization, build it from the ground up, and I thought it was desperately needed. Don't go on and play along and say, oh, man, we can scrap up pieces here and there. No, we have to get rid of some guys in order to get to where we feel like we need to be to have a change in culture and a change amongst this entire organization.
Chargers got help for their injury-plagued offensive line, sent a 2027 sixth-round pick to the Saints for Trevor Penning. Seattle, dealing with a banged-up receivers room, got Rashid Shaheed from the Saints for 4th and 5th-round picks in 2026. Cards staying with quarterback Jacoby Brissett as their starter this week against Seattle.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right. Woo!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Every Tuesday, we get a chance to visit with Sean Salsbury. You can get him on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at Sean Unfiltered. Of course, catch him on YouTube as well there with Unpaved. Sean, it's always a pleasure, man. How are you?
I'm well. Good to be on with you, Matt. Thank you.
Of course, we always appreciate it. Trade deadline came and went a few hours ago. And the Saints shipped Rashid Shaheed to Seattle and Trevor Penning out to L.A. with the Chargers. So, Sean, what that means now is that for the rest of this season, Tyler Shuck, I assume will start the remainder of the season, will get an evaluation without his best weapon and with an offensive line that's down now 3 starters. So, what really can we make of evaluating Tyler Shuck with this offense?
Well, evaluate him on the beating he's going to take and how he keeps standing and coming back, I guess.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a lot of, plug him in. Here's what he gets with this kind of roster. And they didn't have much of a chance this year, quite frankly, Matt, with the guys they did before they traded. It'll test him, and he's going to get a chance to show his stuff. There's a positive and a negative, at least for him. The negative is you don't have a whole lot of weapons. You don't have a very good team, and quarterbacks are judged by the wins and losses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how you can do that with anybody at that position on this team this year. You're looking for progress. It's not going to be W's and L's. It's going to be, okay, what they do within what we have, because in truth, you're kind of lining up, and I mean this a little hyperbolic, but you're lining up with a Saturday team playing on Sundays. You just are. It's a minor league team that has to show up, play against major leaguers that have been hurt, or you're looking to see if they can play, and that's what it is. I think you get an idea of, maybe not a full idea, but kind of, okay, who's Spencer Rattler? We get an idea. Although on a good team, he'd be better, like most quarterbacks are. It's just like Shook would, but. Now you got to find out in the last half of the season which one of the two, if you are going to move forward, you're moving forward with, and if it's both, fine. But you have to, as we've discussed, you've got to find out, because you are a team that you're a bunch of players away from being a bunch of players away. Mm-hmm. You got rid of a weapon, made Seattle better. You're scrambling around to field a roster that can show up on Sundays and try and compete. We saw this past weekend, it was yawner. It was too easy. It was pitch and catch, and it was almost as if it was you didn't even have to get the jerseys dirty if you were the opponent this week. They just kind of rolled through them and did their thing, and they're a really good team anyway, the Rams. So what you're going to find out is, I guess, his mental and emotional toughness. The positive for Shook is, if he's able to have success on this roster, it'll tell you something. Matter of fact, it would probably tell you something if a quarterback had success. It was a rookie on a great roster, and you say, well, he's got great players around him. He should be successful. He doesn't have to do much. Well, he's going to have to do a lot. If I'm him, you keep battling and do it and deal with the odds and go show this team what you got without excuses and out, well, we have this guy hurt and these guys are out and this guy got traded. You treat it as if your livelihood's on the line, and for most quarterbacks, yearly young guys, it is. So, and then you got to find out, if you're the Saints, okay, when we hit January, or when the last game's over, what are we doing in this draft? Are we going to be able to are we going to have enough assets to get what we want? And where are we going moving forward? Are we going to attack free agency, an off-season trade for a quarterback? Do we like what we got here? Because in truth, Matt, right now, even if they had Jaden Daniels on their roster, a healthy Jaden Daniels, they're not that good.
Right.
And so you wouldn't even be, we see that on a lot of rosters. You're trying to figure out, like with Dylan Gabriel in Cleveland. I mean, is it a fair test to those guys, whoever the quarterback is, because their offense is pretty putrid as well. So you really wouldn't find out much. So they need to build and get players. And then if you can get by another year with these quarterbacks, and you think you can, you do it, and then hop in next year. And do you think that there's a quarterback worthy of being a first-round pick, a top 5 pick in this draft? That's what other teams are going to have to look at. So it's a disadvantage, but if you're Shook, it's a great quarterbacks. I can just tell you this, Matt, to make a long story long when it's me talking about this, is you get an opportunity. Quarterbacks don't look at it like, well, I don't have guys around me. What we all think is, I'm going to fix it. Mm-hmm. And that's the approach he has to have, because if he doesn't, he won't survive the last 8 games or so.
Did you, I don't know how much you maybe got to see him. Any observations of Tyler Shoug's first start against the Rams?
You know what? I thought he hung in there. He's playing uphill most of the time because, their offense makes it look pretty easy. You know what it did, Matt? It looked eerily similar. When I say eerily, it looked similar to the offense, because I'm looking at the thing as a whole. You're getting hit, taking sacks, and hanging in there, and making some throws and inaccurate on others. They don't have a lot of big plays in their system, so you didn't see a lot of that. I didn't really focus too much on him and the mechanics. I was kind of looking at the survival rate of it. I really was. I watched probably 2.5 to 3 quarters of it, just because I also enjoy watching the way Sean McVay goes about his business with his team, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at that, quite often. So, but for me, it just, in watching him, I was just kind of looking at the overall result and how we fit into what they're doing. But the truth is, if you take the quarterback out of it, the number or who the name is, and you didn't watch and you just stare at the stat line, you know what you're seeing every week? It's similar. The passing, there's not a lot of explosive plays. You're not averaging a lot of, yards per attempt. You're not dominating the run game. They're getting big plays on offense. So they've had moments, and he had a few moments. I think it's unfair and hard to judge him. I'll watch him a little closer as the season goes on now that I know he's going to finish it out. But I didn't pay much attention to the mechanics, which I will. I was more interested in the result and how he'd get to it and if they could hang in there. When you're playing a team that's got those kind of aspirations, it's pretty difficult when you're going in undermanned.
Yeah, man, they're playing one of the best defensive fronts in football.
Yes.
With a bad offensive line and a rookie quarterback making his first start. This week they go to Carolina. For whatever you know about, look, the Panthers are 5-4. They matched their win total of a year ago. Any reason to think the Saints might put up a better fight this week, albeit on the road, Sean? By the way, every road game they've played this year, they've lost by double digits.
Yeah, well, I'd like to think they'll put up a fight, and it also depends on the opponent and what their opponent. I think that the Carolina Panthers, now that's a team I've watched, pretty much on a weekly basis just to see their progress. They're getting better. They really, you saw last week, they're the way they played. And but Matt, the reason why I never go into a game anymore saying we can sit here and say, yeah, they're going to lose by double digits again. They're not a good road team. They're not good. They're undermanned, obviously. But I watch the Arizona Cardinals team, and I see it every week. Go into, you're playing against a team, and you think, well, no way, they're not beating the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys, boy, they got to ramp it up. They're must win, and they embarrassed the Cowboys with the backup quarterback, who quite frankly should be the starter, because I'd trade Kyler Murray in the offseason in 2 seconds flat. You're never winning a championship with him. I think by Gannon naming Brissett the starter this week's a smart move, injured or not. So I see it every week, because in truth, and I've said this before, the difference between, and I know you're going to say, well, Sean, we're 5 players away from being 5 players away, but the truth is most of the time in the NFL, it's about 6 to 8 plays. You and I have talked about this, a quarterback and maybe 2 or 3 other type really good players. That's the difference in a playoff caliber team and a team that's going to pick in the top 10. That's usually the way it is. And then, they have the stupid mistakes in the execution, but there's not a huge gap, because if there was, then you can't explain Cleveland beating Green Bay earlier this year. You can't explain how the Buffalo Bills got beat by the Atlanta Falcons and have finally got a quality win, then go and beat the hottest team in the world in the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, so yeah, it tells me that they should play better, because I can tell you this, Carolina is not the Rams, but I also could tell you this, if we're thinking Carolina's the Carolina team that the quarterback showed up to when he was a rookie and in his second year, I'm just telling you, it's a mistake. That team's getting better, so you're going to have to play good football, because you can get curb stomped by them just as well. But this is where you find out, Matt, I don't care if it's in college or if it's the NFL. If I'm evaluating teams and I'm in that building, I'm a coach on that team, and Kellen Moore, or anybody on that staff. And by the way, coaches, I'm evaluating you too, how you show up every single week and prepare and get our guys ready to prepare. Because if you're reading the headlines that say we don't have a chance anywhere we go, and that's how you're coaching in the meetings, your ass will be looking for a gig this offseason too. So you're just as much on call as the other dudes are. And I would look at it like that every day. If I'm the front office, that's the way I'm judging them. And if I'm Kellen Moore, I'm judging every single coach and player the same way. And probably harsher now. Why? It's easy to quit. When I say quit, I'm talking about it's easy to mail it in and say, let's just get through, play not to get hurt. I'm secure. I got a big bonus, and I got some guaranteed money. It's easy to do that. I'm judging if that's who you are, then you're not part of what I'm doing moving forward. Because right now I'm coaching to win, obviously, but I'm coaching towards an eye towards what are we going to look like when we get a better roster, and which one of you guys was part of this that didn't have your golf clubs in the trunk in November, because I can promise you I've been around teams that guys have at this time of year looking and say we got no shot. So it's survival mode, but their heads looking into the crowd and the rest of it. So I'm judging, but I anticipate a closer score than you saw against the Rams. But this Carolina Panthers team, with a few good breaks and a little bit of luck and some health, can challenge for a wild card if they keep right, because they're in the right division to do it.
Yeah. Let me grab a break. I want to ask a follow-up, one more specifically about Kellen Moore, which is something I'm hearing a lot about now and questioning him through this 1-8 start. I'll get Sean's thoughts on that in just a second, and we'll get his thoughts on LSU, Alabama. Big challenge. Ty Simpson's playing awesome. We'll get Sean's take on the Tigers and the Tide when we come back. It's AFR.
AFR.
You want faster, more reliable internet? Of course you do. Who doesn't? Rev can give that to you. So let's Rev. You want speeds up to 5 gigs? Of course. Rev. Also, the Wi-Fi equipment is included at no additional cost when you switch to Rev. Did I mention with Rev, there's no long-term contracts either? Rev has the support of local service, 100% local service and support for 90 years. You're never going to be routed to an overseas call center. Rev is local, backed by the support of an all-fiber network, lightning fast speeds all over South Louisiana. Here at Guarantee Media, we're Rev customers. Our company, Parish Construction Roofing, we're Rev customers. For your home or your business, switch today to Rev. Go to letsrev.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Banking on the go? Our mobile app makes it effortless. But at Campus Federal, you're more than just an account number. We build relationships with our members, supporting you from saving for college to owning your first home. If you're buying a car, planning a home renovation, or a vacation, we're here to help. Campus Federal Credit Union, your trusted financial partner for every stage of life. Start your journey today.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Climb up in the loft, sit and talk with the radio on.
All right, glad you're rolling along with us here. We always appreciate our friends over at Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Bunkie and below, you want a Deere, you're going to Sunshine. Visit sunequip.com, sunequip.com, title sponsor of our Tuesday shows. And on Tuesdays, we visit with Sean Salsbury here in Hour 3. I mean, I want to talk LSU Alabama in just a second, but the Saints at 1-8, obviously things aren't great, and they're just not a talented football team. At what point do you look at Kellen Moore and really the inability to be competitive? I struggle, Sean, to know what's fair to judge a rookie head coach, leadership, motivation, game planning, all that stuff when you're seemingly it's such a talent disadvantage every week? Oh, Sean, you're muted. Sorry.
Maybe I get rid of the mute thing. I didn't want to hear my dog bark during the commercial. So
it's all good, man.
I think it's a phenomenal point and question. From our vantage point, we're going to judge with the naked eye or watching tape of their team and how they're playing. I know people say, well, are they playing hard form? If they're not playing hard form, that's a problem. But I know one thing, as a coach, you should never have to coach effort. But when they've checked out on you, that's a part of effort. You know what I'm saying? When I'm on the field, you're out there playing. My job's not to get you to play hard. My job's to get you to play smarter. My motivation's temporary. That discipline's permanent. I got to get you to understand that as a coach. All those little intricacies that go into it, that front office, ownership, GM, the rest of the people that are paying him have to judge. But from our vantage point, I get it. Not competitive. So we're going to look at it like, damn, they're not competitive. They're not physical. I know their roster's limited. So we tendency to give a guy a hall pass on that from a national standpoint, but local, it's more, man, we are dialed in and it's more focused because, well, you want to win. Now, I'm not under the belief that, the second somebody starts losing, you fire them. I think when it comes to quarterback replacement and coach replacement, we expect greatness way too soon because we compare everybody to Saban and Patrick Mahomes, depending on who you are.
Right.
And I think it's wrong. But inside the building, knowing, and from Matt, you're there, but I'm not sitting, and I know I say this often, but I'm not sitting in meetings. So I try to be fair both ways. Yet if I see guys, jumping off sides all the time and penalties and late to positions, and meaning late to their position, if they're supposed to be in cover 2, getting to your half the field, or not getting on the field, 10 guys on the field, all those stupid things. To me, it starts to say, is this what you're allowing in practice? If that's what you're allowing in practice, I look back to the head coach because you're allowing your guys to teach it on the practice field, because if you're not stopping it, you're allowing it. And that's where all that stuff comes in. The result, listen, I think we got to look at, even if you're the front office or anybody else, you have to look at, well, listen, he's playing shorthanded. We haven't given him a cupboard. The cupboard's damn near bare. But what are you getting out of that? What do we ask our quarterbacks to do, Matt, everywhere we go? Elevate the room.
Yeah.
Make guys that are 5s, 7s. Make a 7 play like a 9. And you say, well, Sean, how's that possible? I don't know what's in that little cup that you stir it up and that comes out, because if it did, we'd all bottle it up. But I know I've been on teams with players that made guys better. I like to think at times I did, but I know guys that constantly, whether you go to the Bradys, the Breezes, they just make guys elevate their game, whether it's mentally, emotionally, execution, study. When you hear guys talking about when they play with Peyton Manning, they were afraid not to be prepared. That's elevating the room because of the way he does it. So with Kellen Moore, listen, I had questions about him when he was a coordinator, and I listen, I think he's a brilliant mind. But I had questions about him when he was a coordinator at Dallas, because I thought to myself, and watching them every week, that he was coaching to be a head coach. That's how I felt. Now, it may not be fair, but from a distance, because they put up numbers everywhere. They weren't overly physical, but the Cowboys with that offensive line, when they had it, they were. He had carte blanche, right? But at times I thought, are you coaching to win this and to do this because you're going to be the coordinator, treat it like you're going to be the coordinator forever because that's your job? Or are you coaching to be a head coach? I know that sounds, well, Sean, what do you mean? I mean, are you coaching for numbers as opposed to get me to the grit and grind that you're going to need to win if you become a head coach? And I saw in Philadelphia, he did that. So that kind of erased some of it. But look at the players he had in Philadelphia to do that. A great offensive line, great running back, hell of a quarterback, all those things. So it was easier. It's never easy, but it was easier. And listen, coaches are geniuses with great players. It's amazing how stupid they become when you don't have good players. You got to take that into account. I think, Matt, from this standpoint, you and I know how we're going to judge it, and maybe even look a little deeper because maybe we're a little closer to it. But in the building, you have to, walking up and down the halls, interviewing players, you got to find out, have they checked out? Because if they've checked out, that tells me that the respect, I don't care about liking the head coach. I care about the respect or the assistants, how they teaching it. And like I said, the coaches got to evaluate his coaches. The front office has to evaluate Kellen Moore. So are you losing just because personnel? Are you not getting better? That's my problem. Losses are going to come. Are you getting better with the personnel you have? Are they getting coached up to improve? Because really it's a bunch of individual fights. in a tag team cage match is what it is. You got to win your individual fight, or the tag team ain't going to work because you'll be done anyway. So is he drawing that out of his team in the meetings? Are they preparing properly? How does practice look? Behind the scenes, that's how they got to judge it. The stuff we don't get a chance to see, but we can get information from players or people who are watching. So I don't think that he has any worry of one and done unless all of a sudden he was checked out and said, I'm not doing this, but this is his first opportunity. So I know he's taking the gig serious. So they're going to have to look long and hard at him. You got to evaluate from beginning to end. Win-loss record be damned. Did we get better at any position, let alone at all of them or somewhere in between? And if you're looking in the penalties and all that stuff continues, then you got to look to the practice field, and that's all on a coaching staff. Because if you don't get buy-in, people aren't going to practice right. And if you're not getting that from them, then you have to evaluate, because it isn't in here. It's not uncommon. I mean, maybe uncommon, but it's happened where a guy will go one and he'll be done. We saw 2 years in a row here in Houston. So he's also got to be on his P's and Q's to getting it right.
Yeah. No easy answers in New Orleans. I'd say the same thing here in Baton Rouge as well. Sean, of course, LSU is going to be looking for a new head coach. Frank Wilson's the interim. Tigers go to Alabama. It's crazy. It's LSU Alabama week, and it's such an afterthought. Just wild, wild to think. Ty Simpson's been great. What do you think would have to happen for LSU to go to Tuscaloosa and have a chance to pull an upset?
Yeah, and you know what's interesting, Matt, about what you said? Normally LSU Alabama, I'm setting my clock by it. And I am going to watch it, not only coming on here, but it's LSU Alabama. Something crazy can happen. Plus, I think Alabama is turning themselves into a national title contender. I do. They're getting better. They are getting better after. And Kalen DeBoer didn't allow all the Nick Saban, all the chatter at the beginning of the year. Oh, we're already going to fire him. They've stayed the course, and he's withstood that barrage that he had to take early on. And I actually had to check before I came on just to make sure. LSU is playing Alabama this week? I had to check. So you're exactly right. And that's never an afterthought. And I know it's not there, but nationally it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. Because I am still stunned that we're in a position that when you and I started talking in August, that we are now here in a position where they're looking for a head coach. They're not a national championship team. We don't know what the quarterback's going to do. And we're looking at them as a 10-point basic dog against Alabama. Yeah. And after a Clemson game, we thought they were a national title team. So it's amazing how quickly it can change. I'll tell you what they got to do, in my opinion. Nussmeier's going to have his best game in the defense, who is pretty good, is going to have to give a lot of different multiple looks, because the quarterback, the ball doesn't hit the ground much with Simpson. He doesn't throw it to the other team. They will commit and physically try to get after you at the line of scrimmage. Their defense, like LSU, they don't give up a lot. I think it's going to take something, we call them special teams, a blocked punt and a flipped field. They're going to have an out-of-body experience up front to make sure that the quarterback has time to deliver it. This isn't one of those. This isn't an FCS school going to Alabama. There's some pride here. Don't misunderstand me. Yeah. I know it's LSU and it's college football, and we see it every week, just like the NFL. And so Alabama's preparing for a good LSU team. But if they both line up and play their best, Alabama's covering that spread. They are covering that spread this week. They're the better team. Quite frankly, and Nuss is going to have to play like Simpson's played. Well, I think Nuss is 12-5 interception to touchdown to interception ratio. But with that guy, he doesn't miss much. In Simpson, the ball, and they got big plays. He's efficient. He will move, and he's pretty clutch. He's got a great feel, the mental side, as does Nussmeier. But what's he, 20 against 1? So it's tough to grind it out against them, because he's not going to miss much. They're not going to give you many extra opportunities. So how do you create those? They're going to need more big plays in the offense, but they're going to need a big play, strip sack, fumble, short field, or a block punt, short field. And I would suggest a quick start, so you make Alabama hopefully get out of their comfort zone if you're LSU. But if they line up, both of them, team to team, player to player, Alabama's winning this football game if they all play their best. I think it's going to take something and maybe a few special different plays, 3 or 4 of, wow, took a slant 75 for a touchdown, blocked a punt, blocked a field goal, momentum. It's 13-10 at halftime. That's what you're hoping for, because if Alabama is in rhythm, that ball's not going to hit the ground much. That quarterback's pretty damn good, and he is not only a legitimate, but maybe at the very top when we're talking about Heisman And for a guy who's getting really a first full year of starting, he's pretty damn good.
Yeah. It's wild, man. You mentioned, like a 13-10 halftime. To show you how far we've come in such a relatively short amount of time, Sean, LSU led Texas A&M 18-14 at half. They led at half. And you go from leading at half to your coach being fired, swallowing a $53 million buyout. The AD is out. I mean, it is uncanny.
And eventually getting curb stomped in the second half.
Yeah.
Right. You are one. And I know football's a crazy game, brother. But when you have it up, you're starting to think, okay, maybe this is the turning point. And you're right. Boom, boom, boom. And here we are looking at each other thinking, if LSU, when's the last time I looked at you? We talked in all these years we've been doing it and said, man, LSU lines up and plays a really good football game. They're going to have to play better than really good because they are overmatched against Alabama. I'm talking about to the point where it's like, ho-hum. Alabama would have to play average football for LSU to win. And we're kind of feeling that way right now. But LSU is capable. And you know what? It goes back to the pride thing. The scholarship players, these guys are on, they know what the world's saying about them. They know what the SEC is saying about them. They know what the media is saying about them. And that can go a long way. But all that's out the window once somebody punches you right in the face to start. It's time for LSU to fight back, hit back. But it's also going to take some really good finesse. You got to be physical, but you also got to be able to stick and move. And it's going to take some different type plays, home runs, and maybe a couple special teams, field changers, field flippers to do it in this game. Otherwise, I just think Alabama right now is too good for LSU. And LSU's reeling. We'll see, new coach and all that stuff, how the interim coach works. But there's a lot going on. But the players, it's your responsibility. You're going to have to live with this if you go out there and get curb stomped by Alabama for another full year. So I would suggest that you treat it as if it's a 1 versus 2 game and play like it.
He's Sean Salsbury. I'll get him at Sean Unfiltered there on Twitter. And, of course, Unpaved on YouTube. Go subscribe to the channel. Check him out every weekday. Sean, we always appreciate it, man. We'll do it again next week. Good to be talking.
Appreciate you, brother. Always. Thank you.
Of course. It's just good to be talking football, man, after a week, a wild week of all that's happened around here. But Sean's the best, and we appreciate his time every single Tuesday here on AFR. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Of course, tell you all the time, man, timber property, that recreational property could be an awesome investment. Ask your CPA if that could be a great tax strategy for you, a great investment property. Have that conversation and then call First South Farm Credit. Firstsouthland.com is the website. You can find all the contact info there. Firstsouthland.com. Firstsouthland.com for First South Farm Credit. Because for 100 years, they've done one thing better than anyone: help Louisianians buy land. It doesn't matter if it's your recreational property, if it's 1,000 acres for agriculture. Maybe you're dreaming of building that home in St. Francisville, driving into Baton Rouge, building the home on the North Shore, driving into New Orleans for work each day. Maybe you want to buy 200 acres in Montana and have that ranch. They can help you do it at First South Farm Credit. Firstsouthland.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. We appreciate Sean for hanging out with us. Ross Jackson was here last hour talking trade deadline. We also had Verge Osbury last hour, first interview since he was named the interim AD. We talked a lot about LSU's coaching search, and then Shea was here in hour 1 talking some Cruton. Remember, you miss anything, AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf, podcast or YouTube. Go to your favorite podcast app or YouTube. Search After Further Review if you want the full show. You want LSU content, AFR LSU. You want Saints content, AFR Saints. It's all right there for you, always free. Okay, quick break. We'll come back. One of the things that I do want to touch on is how I think LSU can stay competitive against Alabama Saturday night in Tuscaloosa. We'll get to that next here at AFR.
AFR.
Y'all, it is time to just plant something. The directive has come from Miss Teresa over at Clegg's. It is just plant something season, y'all. And at Clegg's, they have an amazing selection right now of all those fall bedding plants for your flower bed, your patio pots. You want to add those beautiful fall favorites, the shrubs, trees. November is the best time of year with some of this cooler weather to plant trees and shrubs. So maybe you want some privacy shrubs. Maybe you put that new tree in your yard that your family will enjoy for years, decades, generations. Get by Clegg's Nursery now. Any of the 4 locations. Pretty soon, we'll switch here in a few weeks, start talking about the Christmas trees. But in the meantime, it is all about getting those fall bedding plants into your flower beds and your patio pots. So get by and see him at Clegg's Nursery.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's Pool.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luva, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Trust isn't given, it's earned by showing up, leading the way, and performing at your best when it matters most. Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
One more teeny-weeny ride before I take her home. She thinks my tractor's sexy. It really turns her on.
All right, busy show. We'll get to Jimmy Frotterlocks here in about 10 minutes from right now. Find out what we're betting on tonight. Love telling you about Evermore, EVA-MOR. I love telling you about it because I drink it every single day. Got my 64-ounce bottle right here. Drink 2 of these every single day. It's a better form of hydration. It's a healthier alternative. Maybe you're an elite athlete that needs better hydration, Evermore. Maybe you're a parent, you want a healthier option for your children, Evermore. I drink it. I put it in my Keurig at home for my coffee. Completely wiped tap water out of my diet altogether. Evermore. It's a better alternative. It's natural artesian water. Taste it side by side with whatever bottled water you usually drink and read the label. Grab whatever bottled water you usually drink. You think you're just drinking natural water. Look at the label and see what might be added or taken away from that. You're not always just drinking water. With Evermore, you never have to worry about that. EVAMOR, evermore.com, evermore.com. LSU hits the road to take on Alabama this week. And one of the things that the Tigers absolutely are going to have to improve on is their defensive efficiency, which in the last 2 games against Vanderbilt and Texas A&M has completely waned from what they were at the beginning of the season. As a matter of fact, Max Olson at ESPN.com today updated the stop rate rankings in college football. And LSU, which was top 5, has gone down to 20th in the country. Stop rate is a pretty obvious metric. It's what percentage of your opponent's drives are you stopping them from scoring. So that's like a punt, a turnover on downs, an interception, a turnover, something like that. So it's basically what percentage of your opponent's drives are you stopping them from scoring. And we've seen that drop, obviously, the last 2 games as LSU really struggled to get off the field against Vanderbilt and against Texas A&M. And when Frank Wilson was meeting with reporters on Monday previewing the Alabama game, he was asked specifically about Blake Baker and sort of the conversations that they're having about how to improve the defense.
He is a very, very talented coach who wants to contribute, who wants his side of the ball to excel. And here's what I've said to him. You don't have to do it by yourself. We're a team. We're 3 phases of a football team. And the things that we need to do to allow our defense to get its swagger back, let's do those things. Let's incorporate these things into a practice setting. One of the things for him was, Coach, I need to see physicality in an inside run drill, if you will. You got it. We're doing it tomorrow, all right? So we'll get a little roughed up, if you will, and play inside run offense against defense so that we're given the best sample size so we can see speed and physicality that when our defense sees it on Saturday, it's not shocking because of the look you've gotten all week has not been realistic.
Some people heard that on Monday and were sort of aghast that there isn't physicality in practice. And it's one of the really interesting things that's happened, not only in college football but in the NFL, is that the rules have regulated a lot of full contact out of practice. I mean, even go back to camp. Like two-a-days are not allowed. You have to ramp up to a full pad period. You can only have so many full contact periods in given practices. This isn't any specific coach. This is regulated by the NCAA and then and obviously by the CBA in the NFL. And then you wonder why tackling has gone down and guys miss tackles and form is bad. They don't practice it as much. But I think as I start to look at this LSU defense, like it is a fact that over the first month of the season, this was one of the best defenses in the country. You have Clemson at 10 points, Louisiana Tech to 7, Florida to 10, Southeastern to 10. Then Ole Miss scored 24, South Carolina scored 10. I mean, even Ole Miss, which moved the ball and put up 480 yards, only scored 24 points. I mean, they didn't get in the end zone until inside the final 5 minutes of the first half, Ole Miss. So this defense has been really good at times. So I look and I go, all right, well, and yes, it is fair to go, yeah, well, I mean, Clemson and Florida and South Carolina, those are bad offenses. That's true, objectively. But what's changed in the last 2 games against Vanderbilt and against Texas A&M? Well, I think there's 2 things. There's 2 factors primarily. One is you haven't had Whit Weeks. I'm not putting it all there, but he's your emotional leader. He's the guy making all the calls. He's a great player who covers sideline to sideline. That's a really big deal. And you might be without Whit Weeks again this week. The other is Diego Pavia and Marcel Reed. You face 2 running quarterbacks, which continues to be Blake Baker's defensive kryptonite. Pavia, in the game against LSU, ran 17 times for 86 yards and 2 touchdowns. That is not sack adjusted, by the way. Reed ran 13 times for 108 and 2 touchdowns with a long of 41. Period. The running quarterback added a dynamic that you didn't defend. And they're 2 very different dynamics, by the way. Pavia's wasn't design runs naturally. It was a lot of make you miss and making something out of nothing when you were in the right defense. Very frustrating, but you couldn't get him down. Reed was the opposite of that. Reed was, they designed offensive plays around Reed running the football, and you couldn't stop it. So I look at this week, and if you're looking for a reason for optimism, functionally, Ty Simpson and Alabama offensively look way more like Cade Klubnik and Clemson than Diego Pavia in Vanderbilt or Marcel Reed in Texas A&M. I understand. Ty Simpson has been awesome this year. I do not have a Heisman vote. If I did, he would be my front runner right now. He has been efficient. He's thrown one interception. He completes a ton of passes. He is really good decision-making with the football, and he can make plays with his feet. He's not a great runner, but he can extend plays, avoid the rush. Just, for instance, on the season, but this is the parallel. Ty Simpson on the season has run 51 times for 79 yards and one score on the entire season. He's not a threat to beat you running the football like Pavia and Marcel Reed were. Remember I told you Ty Simpson, 51 carries on the season, 51 for 79 yards. Cade Klubnik, 51 carries, 116 yards. They are really comparable. And if you remember that game against Clemson, Klubnik was 19 of 38 for 230 and a pick. He ran 8 times for 1 yard. His long on the game was 7 yards. That's not sack adjusted. Point being, you have a game plan that worked against this type of offense. Veteran quarterback, accurate, really good receivers, veteran offensive line, good running back. I mean, they are a more efficient and effective version of Clemson. All that to say, you've got the blueprint defensively of what to do against this team. It's what you did against Clemson. Can you execute it? And can you make a guy that's been arguably the most efficient quarterback in college football this season less efficient, like you did to Cade Klubnik all the way back on August the 30th on the road at Clemson? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying the thing that's caused your defense to falter the last 2 times out, and certainly would cost you against Ole Miss as well, was your inability to stop a mobile quarterback. Well, I'm not saying he can't move, but I just showed you an 8-game sample of what Ty Simpson is like running the football. And it's the same as Cade Klubnik. And you handled that well. So, make him beat you throwing the football with 2 outstanding receivers against your secondary, which is the strength of your defense, and take a shot. See how it goes. But you got the blueprint because you've already done it once this year. All right, it's after further review. Excuse me. Let me knock out a quick break. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks to wrap up the show when we come back here on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com for Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Hey, look, if you want to feel your younger self, feel like your younger self, you need to schedule an appointment at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Maybe you have ED. If that's the case, they got tons of treatments. They can help you. Hormone replacement therapy is a massive part of what they do. And then also, they have non-pharmaceutical options to manage so many things to help you feel your best. Gut health, anxiety, recovery. Maybe you've got aches and pains. I told you, I've been using treatment for my lower back, once a day injectables that are life-changing. I haven't had this much relief from my back pain for as long as I can remember. They can help. Visit them. yourgoodwood.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal. Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's. One love. Let's go.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Tuesday edition of AFR. We are brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Get on by, test drive one today over at South Point Volkswagen. They're open late. As we near the end of the year, it's always a great time to go make a deal, and South Point is Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Nobody has a better selection, so nobody can give you a better deal. And, of course, they're awesome people, and they're really fun to work with over at South Point Volkswagen. Erica and I drive Volkswagens, have for years. Just go test drive, and you'll see exactly what all the fuss is about. The style, feel, performance of luxury without the cost. And manufactured right here in the U.S. of A. as our Chattanooga, Tennessee plant. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Well, how about a rocking chair cover with Arizona plus the 3.5? They're an outright winner. And then the Arizona Wildcats on the hardwood, an outright winner over the Gators. We'll take it. Otter, how are you?
Ring my bell. Let's go, baby.
The only thing we didn't hit was the over in the game, but still, really good night last night.
Yeah, I hit I split on my anytime TDs. Hit McBride, didn't hit the other receiver. But hey, we're not the only ones that think that Brissett is an upgrade. I think they're going to give him another start against Seattle Sunday.
They should.
With Murray, quote unquote, ailing. So yeah, so we'll see. It's to play the other guy not making all the money tells you how much better. And man, I don't know if you heard the broadcast last night, but Harrison's dad, the Hall of Famer, he let his feelings known on the how fluid the Arizona passing game is with Kyler Murray. So anyway, let's move on to tonight. Maction now. Maction. Best bet tonight, Ohio. Bobcats minus 2.5 now.
Yep.
At DraftKings. It was 3 all day and pretty much 3 everywhere else. So that is by far the best number on the hot number of 3. I know it's not the NFL 3, but still it's a big one. I think Ohio's the best team maybe in the MAC. DeQuan Finn coming back from Baylor to the MAC where he started Toledo. Kind of lukewarm right now. These two teams sitting on top of the standings, but we'll take the home team. Paul Stone, my podcast buddy, and I on the Bet Rivers podcast, this is his best bet tonight as well. So we're going with the Ohio U minus the 2.5 is the best bet. The other one, I'm not going to tell you it's not nearly as strong, but when it got to 10, 10.5, 11, like 12.5 now, and I'm not sure if he's not going to go to 13. At some point, I know UMass is garbage, but give me the garbage plus the points. I mean, that's just too many points for Akron to be laying. So I'll take UMass in the points there. And then college basketball tonight, we'll go at it again. We'll take the points again. Duke's got Boozer's kid. They're really, really talented, but it's very, very early in the season. You saw with all the talent that BYU has, they still struggled against Villanova last night. And also the debut of Sean Miller as a new coach at UT. We think early in the season these teams are a little bit closer. We'll take Texas plus double digits.
Is that in at Durham, or is that a neutral site?
1 minute remaining.
Neutral site, Matt. You would ask me, huh?
No, it's all right.
I know
I was
last
curious.
night's doubleheader was in. No, I don't have it in front
all
of me.
good.
I do
No
not have it
worries.
in front of me. I think it's neutral site. I think it's neutral.
I'll check it. Where are you tomorrow, Otter?
We are at Modesto on Burbank, just off of Nicholson. It is in Charlotte.
Yep.
Neutral site.
Neutral site.
Not Durham.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Otter. Good luck.
All right, good luck.
All right, man. Have a great night. We appreciate it. Catch Jimmy and Charlie tomorrow at Modesto. All right. We're going to get on down the road. Shea Dixon, Verge Osbury, Ross Jackson, Sean Salsbury, all here. Many thanks to them. You miss anything, AFR On Demand, presented by Breck Golf. What a busy show. Muse, Paulie, thanks. Y'all have an awesome night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
After further review.
Getting on down the road, remind you about Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Locations all over South Louisiana, and at Shawbills, they treat you like family. Name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they treat you like family. It's what they've done now since 1968 when they opened up their doors. You know, Mr. Charlie years ago created what he called the Charlie's Dozen. That's a dozen benefits extended to you and every vehicle in your family when you buy tires at Shawbills. Things like free tire rotations, free balancing, things like that, which keep you coming back. And oh, by the way, the price match guarantee. Buy tires at Shawbills. If you find those tires advertised cheaper anywhere else, they'll refund you 125% of the difference. They're just never going to be beat on price. Name brand tires, wholesale prices, they treat you like family. They've got it figured out. They've done that for more than half a century. ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app. 90s country and beyond. 100.7 The Tiger.